10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Viewer discretion. Although these Saturday night chats don't get too crazy.
Nah.
We don't really offend anybody on these chats. Usually. I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to get butt hurt because, I don't know. I'll say that Mythic Legions suck. But somebody will get fucking butt hurt about that. But
I haven't had any, in person, so I can't really say.
I've even, I admit, the ones I had were Legion builders and stuff, and that's fine. I mean, I understood they weren't the high end ones, and two of them were fine. Not my personal favorites, but two of them were decent figures. One of them was just absolute crap. One of them really sucked. It was really bad. So 1 out of 3, which honestly ain't bad. Because that's about a pretty standard ratio for toy manufacturers, right? Like 1 in 3 Marvel Legends sucks, at least. 1 in 3 McFarlane suck, at least. So it's not like that should have been so controversial for me to say one of the 3 I got I didn't like and thought was just a bad figure.
I don't know about one.
Right?
You'll be getting 2 that was pretty good, though.
Those are awesome. Those are fucking great.
You know there's an issue with me doing this for you. I want to make one for myself now.
You should.
That's
awesome.
That's turning out awesome.
Yeah.
I put the green accents on the side of the head too, on the metallic green.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it looks badass. You need one. Those overt kill figures are on sale everywhere right now.
I picked up another one the other day.
Yeah,
It should be here Monday.
I saw them for like $20 or $22 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 50 when it came out.
Yeah,
that was when we started this project. I think it was still 50.
Yeah, they've been putting them on sale everywhere. Those big mega figures of McFarlane's always go on clearance because nobody buys them. Like the one I've seen that was the most popular was the 2. Was the Justice League version of Apocalypse and Swamp Thing. Those were like the 2 ones that you couldn't find anywhere that I remember that he's
speaking of McFarlane figures, the Chosen Prime this weekend only is doing a 50% off on all their McFarlane stuff, which they have Swamp Thing. So I never got Swamp Thing, and I ordered Swamp Thing and a few other things.
I've got the Swamp Thing with the horns. I wanted the regular one, which is almost identical except just a different head.
Yeah.
But they had that one at GameStop. I went to GameStop and I had like a.
I think the horn one was a GameStop exclusive.
Is that what it was? That's the one they had, and I had a whole bunch of points built up, and plus my $5 a month free and all this other crap that I hadn't used in a really long time. So I basically got him for like $10.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, well, I'm just going to get this one. I'm not going to search around for the other one. I can get this one for $10. And it's a cool figure. I love the figure. He looks great.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like, he's got the horns, which isn't traditional, but whatever. He still looks cool.
And it's like a new 52 thing.
Yeah. We've got.
I got a DC Direct one over there with the wings and the horns. It was new 52.
Yeah, the one with the wings that came out. Who made that one?
DC Direct or DC Collectibles. They changed their name.
That one looks cool. I've seen that one before. Firefighter dropped in a couple super chats. What's up, Firefighter? You not working? Firefighter, if you want in on the chat, just send me an email or something. I'll send you a link. Where it's Geek Night. So what your camera froze?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I moved it and it just like it spazzed out.
Firefighter says, "Wait, where's the SHTF story time?" I don't know. We haven't done that one. I mean, we've got the story time is in the Discord. It's got its own channel in Discord. So if anybody wants to read it, but we've been like wanting to put together like a read through of SHTF Storytime. We just haven't done it yet. And he also says, what not grabbing any of the 50th anniversary Star Trek figures? I've seen those. In fact, I just saw some today at Walmart. Me and my wife went to Walmart and picked up a couple things, and I saw them today at Walmart. And they're honestly, my opinion, not even as good as the old ones from the 90s. Like I like the old Playmates figures from the 90s better than these new ones that have come out. Have you seen the new Playmates Star Trek stuff they've been putting out?
Pretty much. I kind of just glanced at them on the stores and but didn't really look at them like they're 5-inch figures or something.
Yeah, they're 5. They're supposed to be pretty similar to the stuff that was coming out in the 90s, all the different Playmates Star Trek figures that were coming out in the 90s, but they don't look as good. They look cheaper, and I don't know what it is. I will say the face sculpts and stuff look a little better. Just because, modern technologies, face sculpts look a little better and a little more accurate to the characters. But other than that, like the rest of it just looks cheap. So I don't really like them. And especially when you can get all those Playmate Star Trek figures really cheap, like still new in package. Like those things in package are like $10 on eBay. They're not expensive. I would rather have the original ones.
Yeah,
so
if you can get them that cheap, they just collect the originals.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have a high resale value or anything. There might be a couple that are a little more pricey, but all the ones I've seen are like $10, $12, stuff like that. And that's
big as Star Trek. That's the thing about Star Trek. It's big as it's been over the decades. It's never had a good figure line.
I did like the. Who was it?
I'm not counting the new Super 7 stuff because Super 7 sucks.
Yeah, but who did before Playmates got the license in the late 80s? Who was coming out with was it Galoob?
Probably. Galoob did a lot of stuff.
I think it might have been Galoob.
Yeah, they did.
Came out with some 3 3/4 inch figures that were actually pretty good, and they were a mix of like Next Generation and stuff from like Star Trek, the motion picture.
I remember those.
They were doing some different stuff in that Star Wars G.I. Joe size that was pretty good.
The super fan has arrived.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we got the fan.
The super fan.
Fuck happiness.
Fuck happiness. But yeah, those were pretty cool. I liked those, but there was only a couple of waves. They didn't last long before Playmates because Playmates had blown up with all the Ninja Turtle shit and got the license to do it. And Playmates was actually doing some pretty cool stuff because they were doing they had the Enterprise D bridge set, and they were doing transporter sets and stuff. They were doing some pretty cool stuff. So if you like Star Trek, that's by far the best line that's come out for it.
Do you have any Star Trek? Do you have any Star Trek ships?
Not large ones. I got small ones. I got some of the Eagle Moss stuff.
Didn't I send you one a while back? I forget.
You sent me this one, which was Star Wars. You sent me the Super Star Destroyer.
Oh, that's what it was.
Which was just flat gray. I did a little shading to it and all the engine detail and everything.
Yeah, dude, those are fucking cool.
And yeah, I've got that. And he's on a little stand. He sits next. I call him he. I don't know why. He sits next on his little stand next to all my Star Trek ships, which I've got.
Because he's got big dick energy.
He does. He's got BDE. I've got a bunch of. I say a bunch. I don't have a bunch. I have a few Eagle Moss fucking things that I keep on this little shelf up here above my computer. But I've got I've got the Super Star Destroyer. I've got a Millennium Falcon. This one I think was Hot Wheels, if I remember right. I can't remember who made this one.
I think that is Hot Wheels.
I think it's Hot Wheels. Here, let me blow up the fucking screen there. Yeah, I think this is Hot Wheels with the fucking hair hanging off of it.
Was that extra?
Yeah, that was extra. The hair was extra, but it's pretty cool.
Why is there red stuff on it?
Huh?
Look at the top.
Oh, it's just the little details on the fucking
okay.
Millennium Falcon. Right. It is not, if I remember right, it's not really from the movie, but those red details are like on the original Kenner one, which I have up there hanging from my ceiling. The original Kenner Millennium Falcon. and those details are on it because those stickers are on it. And then I've got Voyager. It's pretty cool. And then my favorite Enterprise, which is the 1701A. That's my favorite Enterprise.
Yeah, the refits are just beautiful designs.
I call that one the 1701 Gay.
Yeah. And then I've got my Discovery, which I know a lot of people give Discovery shit. I think it's a cool fucking design.
Well, it's based off one of the original movie concepts for
the cells are ridiculously long.
Yeah. When they were going to do Star Trek Phase 2, before they ended up doing Star Trek the Motion Picture, they came up with a design. I forget what's the guy's name. Was it Ralph McQuarrie? I can't remember who did the design. But so they came up with a design that was similar to this. And then that's what they took their inspiration from. But then I got that. And then my favorite Eagle Moss that I have is my my Battlestar Galactica, which is just fucking badass. I love this fucking thing. It's hard to tell, but it's like got all the little fucking details in it. Fucking thing's great. But that's my favorite one. So yeah. That's all I've got, though. Well, I do have a fucking Raider. I forget what this was from. There was a line that was like, I felt like they were trying to kind of copy Funko.
It's a damaged Cylon Raider, isn't it?
Yeah, they were trying to do like, they did a bunch of Star Wars and sci-fi ships and stuff in kind of a, because that's kind of a blown up, that's not really what the Cylon Raider looked like.
No.
It's kind of cartoony, like it looks like they put out a bunch of these things, and they're just like soft plastic, like Funko Pops are. But it's like they were doing ships in the Funko Pop style, and I can't remember what the name of the company was. But anyway,
when are you getting a 3D printer so you can make your own dolls?
No shit, I need to get a 3D printer, especially with how little they cost compared to what they used to cost. I almost bought that one when I was up there with you,
dude.
I should have bought that one when I was up there with you.
McQuarrie's was the artist. McQuarrie's was the artist that designed the Long Enterprise, like the Discovery's based on.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Okay,
cool. I thought it was McQuarrie, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, but I like this design of ship. A lot of people give it shit. I think it's pretty fucking cool.
Nah, I don't like it, man. I feel like it's inherently, like in a battle, it's vulnerable. Because of the length of the nacelles, like turning around and maneuvering, like that thing is just because it was created. There were only two. What do they call them? Cross.
Oh, I didn't watch Discovery.
I can't remember the name. It's like Crossfield. I think is what it's called. It's a Crossfield, Cross something. Crossfield. Anyway, it's a Crossfield class or whatever the fuck. They only made two of these, and they were exclusively science vessels specifically to work with the spore drive, and that's why they were designed like this. They were not designed for battle at all. They were designed as science ships in a specific way to work with that specific drive. So that's why.
I feel like whoever came up with that concept, when they were like, hey, let's come up with Star Trek Discovery, like what should be the storyline? And they all took a bunch of mushrooms, and they were like, "Oh, you know what it should be, bros? Like spores, because like when I'm on these mushrooms, I can like see like the connections between universes and stuff. But it's like we should integrate that into Star Trek."
Well, what I think they did was I think they saw this design that Ralph McQuarrie did back in 1977 and said, "We should make that ship. How the fuck do we explain there's a ship that looks like this? I know, mushrooms." I think that's what they fucking did.
I think the mushrooms came first, not that was the forethought.
Well, don't forget they got high and stole that independent creators video game ideals first.
Oh, that's true. They did. I forgot about that.
Because the entire plot to season 1 Discovery, the entire spore drive, characters, everything was stolen from that game.
Didn't he try to sue them?
Yeah, and like the problem is though he's in another country. The CBS has had like money back lawyers. It was a losing battle, no matter what he's going to do.
So how the heck have you guys been? I've been busy at work for the past 4 freaking days of drudgery and monotony.
Just fine. Just another fucking Saturday, basically. Like literally nothing different has happened this week that hasn't happened the last fucking several months.
I've been working on this really cool project for a friend of mine.
Same thing we do every week, Brain.
Try and take over the world. Oh, that's gonna be so badass. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get that goddamn. Where
Is
am
that
I?
like Hulk gets taken over by
Borg.
Borg,
What?
a
Oh, it could
Borg
be a
Hulk?
Man, that actually could be a Borg Hulk.
Yeah. The Borg slip through the multiverse and end up in the fucking MCU in 616 and take first thing they do is like, let's fucking take over Hulk. That'll work for us.
It's like instead of resistance is futile, you will be smashed.
Yeah.
Then resistance is futile.
Anyway,
I got one for you. I got one for you, Jared. How about Borg Cube versus Unicron? What do you think?
Oh, Unicron easily.
Unicron.
Yeah.
And that I will give it even the movie Unicron, which if it's comic book Unicron, comic book Unicron would wipe out the entire Borg race.
Fantastic.
Because
I was literally
he's
just
Galactus.
this morning. I was just this morning watching a video from a channel that I'm subscribed to that basically just does lots of history. Like they take movie franchises, TV franchises, comic franchises, things like that, cartoons, all that kind of stuff, and is like, here's the history of this shit. And they did one on the origins of the Transformers, which was all like, okay, here's all the different origins of the Transformers. Which was like, well, no, they went through all of them from the Marvel Comics, from IDW, from from the movie version, the Michael Bay versions, the old G1 versions, all the shit. They went through all the different origins with Primus and Unicron, and there's different origins with Primus and Unicron. They went through all those. They went through the ones with the Quintessons, which I always, to me, thought made the most sense. It was a little more sci-fi and a little less like the Primus Unicron fucking being like the yin and yang of the universe and shit. Like to me was like cool, but it didn't make as much sense given that like there's organic life out there, and like why would there be organic life that's not somewhat technology based if Primus and Unicron were the only were the creation of the universe and all this shit. I like the fact that the Quintessons were this ancient race that created the Transformers. And then eventually they kind of started melding with their own technology to become the Quintessons as we know them today. And they just kind of forgot about the Transformers. They just like created them and at some point fucking left them, and then they just kind of evolved on their own. But they were originally started out as like Decepticons were the military. They were basically the DARPA dogs of the Quintesson
consumer goods and war goods.
Yeah, and
right.
and the Autobots were they were the fucking factory workers and shit. And then at some point the Quintessons fucking just like they just kind of forgot about them and like started evolving themselves into their own technology to where they had the 3 fucking heads and all the shit and became the thing they eventually became. And Transformers just evolved on their own in their own little fucking world. I like that origin because that origin makes more sense from like a hard sci-fi perspective.
And you got the variations of that origin too, when the Transformers basically rebelled against the Quintessons and drove them off planet.
Yeah,
dude, how close are we to a reality in which we download like AI into DARPA dogs and send them about to do business?
Less than 10 years.
Isn't that kind of scary? Like we've been watching. How many times have they come out with a new Terminator movie? And we seem to be determined to like go down that road for some reason.
Human arrogance. We think we can control them, so we keep doing it because it's like, this is in the movies. And then life keeps imitating all the fucking movies. So,
right.
Yeah. We're just determined to end up in the Matrix or some shit. Like on some level. I don't know.
I think we're forgetting something.
Oh.
forgot about the porn music. I forgot about the damn porn music. Here we go. I keep forgetting it. There we go. Porn music.
Picked up a new camera. Picked up a new camera, and then that's what kind of all the colors are vibrant now.
Nice. At least you have lights, fucker. I'm fucking lights going out on my shit, man.
Oh, cool! They don't flicker with this new camera.
I'm sure something just came unplugged, dude. I bet you just like.
Dude, I've fucked with everything. I fucked with the plug, the controller, everything. The lights just went out. I bought a new set because what I was going to do. Thanks, Amazon. I was going to just swap out the controller and the plug and use the new controller and the new plug and then put the old controller and the old plug back in the box and return it. But the new controller and the new plug didn't fucking change anything. They still don't work. So.
Have you checked to make sure your outlet is still good?
Mm-hmm.
They do go out.
Because my other fucking shit works just fine. That's plugged into the same thing.
I'm just saying, like, remember when you did like Christmas lights when you were a kid? And you had to go through the entire string to find the one that was burnt out that would make the entire string like not work. So you'd have to go through and like take each individual one out and plug them back in and plug it out and plug it in.
These are different because they're actually made to cut to length. Like you can actually cut them at different points, and all that won't work is everything after the cut once you cut it off. So even if there was a break in it somewhere, everything up to that break should work fine.
And you can buy connectors and make the cut off pieces work too.
Yeah. That's how these things are fucking designed. So.
That's exactly what I got, just white.
All right, let's see. Goshow dropped in a super chat, says Stargate replicators versus the Borg. Well, here's the thing. The Stargate replicators, from what I remember, it's been a while since I've watched the episodes on the replicators in Stargate, they controlled an entire galaxy. Like, they literally controlled an entire fucking galaxy all on their own. The Borg have never even come close to taking over one quadrant of our galaxy. So
I've got one.
I gotta give it to the replicators on this.
The Borg versus the Dominion.
I mean, we know how big the Dominion is roughly. I guess we.
Well, the thing is, the Dominion can breed Jem'Hadar soldiers at breakneck speed. Like they can, like they're ready to fight after like a week of being hatched. Their ships are pretty fast to produce, while they're not like the most powerful, technologically advanced ships.
No, they're
maybe where the Borg would get them is by just technology, but
their battle cruisers were almost Borg cube size.
The thing I would have to wonder though is, look at how the fucking Dominion got taken out. Somebody released the virus, the Founders, and all the other races that were part of the Dominion fucking just fell apart without the Founders. Like just crumbled. Like went completely to shit.
Borg would even be able to do the virus part too, because that's basically what they took out the species 847. Was it
8472? I think.
Well, the only reason that the Federation was able to win the Dominion War was because they were cut off from their main fleet. The only thing that the Federation was fighting was like a little wing of the fleet that built a couple of like shipyards and Jem'Hadar like cloning stations or whatever, and was just like continuing to do work here. They didn't have their main fleet in the Gamma Quadrant or whatever.
Yeah, if they weren't cut off, the Alpha Quadrant would have fell to the Dominion if it wasn't for intervention of the
Prophets.
Yeah, exactly.
But I got to say though, the way the Alpha Quadrant merged together, and I know that the Klingons are kind of in the Beta Quadrant, but you get my point. The way those factions all merged together to kind of form a united front was pretty tits. That was an awesome alliance. Like
one of the best episodes of Star Trek period is a Pale Moonlight.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Where they tricked the Cardassians into entering the war.
Romulans.
The Romulans.
Yeah, sorry, the Cardassians. Romulans. Sorry.
Yeah. One of another great scene was when the Cardassians changed side in mid battle, and you actually see what a threat they are. Like, because all of the ships, like the Dominion starts bombarding Cardassia, And all of a sudden, they decided to change alliances. And like, fuck this! If you're going to treat us like this, we're out. And then that scene where they showed that one, the Galore class, just straight leveling with its Polaron beam, was awesome.
So that's what, one of the things I thought they really screwed the pooch with Star Trek Picard. When what they did with the Romulans, they could have easily made it more sense if they used the Cardassians for that, because they were a decimated race after the Dominion War. They had massive amounts of their population was exterminated by the Dominion.
Right.
So it would make more sense if they used the Cardassians.
See,
and they were having all kinds of.
They should have had someone like Garrett come in. You know, like someone from Deep Space. Because have they had like Bashir or anybody from Deep Space Nine in Picard? Who was in it? I didn't see, I guess.
Just Worf.
Well, that doesn't count.
He was TNG, technically. I mean,
he was Deep Space Nine for.
I know he was in
season 3 on.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he's
same thing with O'Brien. Like, if you said O'Brien, I'd be like, okay, I guess that counts.
Well, that would have been made more sense too to fix the transporter issues. They could have brought O'Brien in. Hell, he's like the premier engineering chief in the Federation.
Well, at that point he should have been a professor, right?
Well, he left Deep Space Nine for a professor role at Starfleet Academy. That's what
when I say Worf was TNG, I mean that he was part of the original cast of the original show. So that's what I mean by that, obviously.
Yeah, it made no sense not to have any Deep Space Nine characters in season 3 Picard, because the changelings had nothing to do with TNG, except for Deep Space Nine. I mean.
Right, and to have that be like the main bad guys, like these changelings, and how they're all different and stuff. And you don't talk to Odo, and you don't talk to Kira, and you don't talk to I don't know, Jake Sisko, nobody, dude.
Although, be kind of hard to talk to Odo though.
Well, Jake Sisko's bald, so they won't have him on camera now.
No, Renee passed away.
Because they should have cured that in the future, right?
Renee passed away, so they can't have Odo.
Yeah. Renee Auberjonois.
Avery's freaking crazy, so they can't have him back for anything. Although he's supposed to be in heaven anyway, so that makes sense.
There were rumors that they were going to try to do something to bring Sisko back. These were rumors after Picard season 1 that they wanted to do something that was the story of Sisko finally coming back. And I don't know if they are still talking about doing it, or if they were just like, fucking, he's too crazy now, we can't put him on camera. Or
is he actually crazy, or they just got him blackballed in Hollywood?
He's a very eccentric gentleman, if you see him in interviews. Now, that being said, that doesn't necessarily. I think he's always been that way. Because if you go back and watch DS9, he is an overactor.
Oh yeah,
I was just getting ready to say that.
He's got a little bit of Kirk in his William Shatner in his performance.
Yes, he's very over the top and very theatrical. And I remember seeing an interview from him back in the 90s when DS9 was on. And all he wanted to do was talk about all his time doing Shakespeare at the theater. And I'm just like, and before DS9, the only thing I knew him from was when he was Hawk on Spencer, right? That's only I knew him as the badass who almost never talked on Spencer, and then he's Sisko, and then all of a sudden he's just wanting to sit there in his interview and talk about Shakespeare in the theater and all this stuff, and I was just like, well, this is weird, but that explains a lot. Yeah.
Well, I saw there was it was on a YouTube channel, I forget what it was exactly, but it was a Deep Space Nine reunion, and they had all the actors who played everybody come in and join a chat like we're doing right now, right? And yeah, dude, Sisko, when he talks, he does this thing where he's freestyling jazz music, like a trumpet playing jazz.
Oh,
but
scat.
it's his voice. So like
Yeah,
he
they
has
do
to like
like
think about the cadence and rhythm and tone of his response as much as he does the words that he's saying.
yeah. I think they call that type of chatter. They call it like scat and something like that. It was a real popular form of like music or whatever like that back in the day. And yeah.
Oh, just to touch back at least too with the super chat, Stargate replicators versus Borg. The replicators, they gave them like a super big weakness in Stargate where they can disrupt the frequency that holds them together, so they can just follow dust. So if the Borg could figure that out, then the Borg. If not, replicators. There was a time dilation.
Just had numbers.
Yeah, replicators had numbers, plus whatever they consumed, they took over. They could consume a ship, then take over its processes.
Yeah.
And that when they absorbed the Asgardian fleet, it's like they made such advances. They had human replicators too. They had like a time dilation or something like that. They actually evolved quickly, somewhere like on a time.
Yeah, they evolved. They went to that thing when they were like human. They made themselves look human, and they didn't have that. Yeah, they evolved and they were starting to look human, and if I remember right, they didn't have that weakness anymore, right?
They still did.
Did they still have it? Okay.
Yeah, that's how they defeated the human replicators. They actually made them just basically fall apart.
Real quick, I got to address a comment in the chat. Erican509 says, he was cool as Hawk on Spencer for Hire with that 8-inch python. Look, dude, I want to keep this family friendly, and I get that you might, that kind of thing. That might be your thing, Eric, is Hawk's 8-inch python, but like that's not what this is not cock talk, okay? I mean, we do bring up once in a while, but let's try and keep it clean, Eric. All right, let's try and keep it clean. Although Cisco looks like he'd have a big hog, I will say that.
What other captain only has Q show up in one episode? He punches him, and it's like, Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard.
Yeah,
and he never showed back up.
Yeah.
I did like the end of. It's been several weeks. We can talk about it now. I did like the end of Picard season 3. That whole fucking after credit scene that came up.
Yeah,
with
season 3 was almost like an FU to the other people who did seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah. It was Terry Matalas was the new showrunner this season, and I've seen interviews with him, and he seems like the type of dude. But I've heard him specifically talk about TNG and how he was raised with it, and like he seemed like one of these people that you would ask him the most random fucking nobody, even the actors in the scene, would know the answer to this trivia question from some random episode of TNG. He seems like the dude that would know that shit. Like he's obsessed with TNG. And so I think that's why he did a good job with Picard season 3, is because he genuinely loved those characters in the original show and that kind of thing. And the new series that this is spinning off into, I forget what they're calling it.
Legacy?
Huh?
Star Trek Legacy.
There you go, Star Trek Legacy. Yeah. Apparently he's going to be show running that too, and it's going to be based around the new Enterprise. What is it? The G? Enterprise G? And yeah.
Well, they renamed
the Titan the G. Yeah.
Which I think was kind of dumb. So.
I mean, I was looking at some stuff because I was looking at some shit. I remember after that
the Odyssey class is such a nice ship. It's like
I looked at that and I was like, okay.
I was expecting like in your honor, just name it Picard.
The Picard, yeah, something like that. But I remember
don't change the name of your flagship.
Yeah, I was looking because I was like trying to figure. I was like, okay, wait, the Titan, because you look at that ship and it looks like a ship about the size of like the Enterprise A or something. And so I went online to look it up to see how big, because in my mind, the Enterprise, if the D and the E, which were both huge ass ships, and the F, which I mean, I know we've seen in the game, but it's never actually been on screen. But it's described as a huge ship. I was like, this thing does not look big enough to be the flagship. So I went and actually looked it up. The Titan's actually a really big fucking ship. It's designed to be a little bit more of an old school looking ship, so it almost looks more like this style of ship.
Yeah, it's.
You know?
I think that
But
it's
actually.
I think the Titan's like the modern Constitution class.
Yeah,
era.
and it's like much bigger than this. It's like the size of the Enterprise D. It's huge. It's actually a really fucking big ship. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense. Because I was like, you don't make a little ass ship a fucking, because I don't know, it just, because of the fact like the saucer section looks very old school and everything, I just kind of assumed it was a smaller ship because you never really see any other ships in relation to it. Like, you never see it on screen next to the Enterprise D in that last episode. Like, they're never on the screen at the same time, so you can get like an idea of how big it is. So, but it's actually supposed to be a pretty goddamn big ship. So,
see, I was under the impression that it was a smaller ship, that it was more about the size of the Akira class, as far as like, you know, it was still big enough to be a hero ship per se, but it was or a flagship of a fleet per se, but it wasn't as big as the D. And the Enterprise E, which is the ambassador class or something like that, is a little bit smaller than the Galaxy class in that it's like slenderer. It's more, you know, it's aerodynamic.
Few things are as big as the D.
The E is the E is actually a lot longer than the D. It's almost as wide as the D. God damn it! I can't believe we're saying this shit. But it's got a flatter
profile, yeah,
and it is a little bit skinnier because the saucer section is spread out long ways from front to back instead of side to side like the D. But
I personally really like the D.
Yeah, I bet you do like the D.
I know you love the D. We know you like the D.
You're a fan of the D. Get it?
I love the D.
You love that big D.
Yeah, the big D.
The big D. God damn it.
Well, if I remember correctly, like the Enterprise A, the Constitution class, is around the length of an aircraft carrier, from saucer to the end of the nacelles.
That it was like what 300 yards, I think is the total length, something like that.
Something like that.
Protect
Yeah.
schools, for children, and ships named it.
Oh,
There we go. Here we go. I found a size comparison of the Enterprise ships.
Right.
And I'll put it in the private chat. There you go.
okay. Let's see this. Does it have the G on there? Yeah.
Go ahead. That's is that the Phoenix? That's not the current G. This is before the.
Oh, that's not the Titan?
Picard. That's not the Titan. And that's not the correct F either, but it's from everything up is correct. This is before they introduced the Odyssey class. But from the Enterprise E up is accurate.
So, all right, so we got the NX-01, which did get a retrofit at some point and got a secondary hull, but NX-01, yeah. So right here you see the size difference between the D and my favorite one, which is the A, which is a considerable difference. Oh, that's not the D, that's the C.
Yep.
The D is much bigger.
I mean, even the Excelsior, the Enterprise B, was massive compared to the original, the A.
Well, so here you got the E and the D. So you've got the D here and the E is actually longer, but it's not as wide.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
they explained that.
And it's
yeah, that's not the same G.
Yeah, that's not the
Titan.
That's not the correct F or G on that list. I think these are video game versions on the bottom.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Titan, the Titan refit, new Constitution class compared to the D, and it was almost as long as this. It's not as fat top to bottom or side to side, but it's almost that long. So it's actually a pretty big ship.
The Odysseys are huge. The F.
And I thought the Voyager was bigger than that.
No, the Voyager's not a big ship.
Yeah, Voyager's pretty small.
Yeah, Voyager wasn't much bigger than a Constitution class.
I knew that the Defiant wasn't very big, but
Yeah.
Voyager was set up for more science, like the original one was.
Yeah.
Right.
I watched a video on it the other day. They designed the Intrepid class was before they even designed the ship for the show. They did it almost like with designing like a real ship. We need a purpose for the ship. We did come up with the concept for the ship, the purpose, then designed it to fit that role.
Look how big the J is. Isn't that the J?
Yeah.
Big one? Yeah.
I like the Reliant. I always thought that looked cool, and it looked almost like it was the most reasonable design. With
the J, the reboot series, like movies, like J.J. Abrams movies, the Enterprise was huge.
It was like the size of the D.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they explained it because they didn't explain it in the movies, by the way, because why would they? They're in a different timeline. They wouldn't know about the original. But the way I saw it explained later on was it was because of the whole Kelvin timeline thing. They advanced their technology and their ships because of
that was the in-universe explanation. The real explanation was JJ liked the look of that place, that facility where they called engineering. It was like a factory.
Was a beer factory, wasn't it?
Yeah, beer factory. He liked that, and he wanted it to be engineering. So he had to design the ship around that.
Okay, so here we've got the retrofit. You can see, if you go back here, you've got there's the retrofit.
Yep.
In NX-01 right there. And then we get to the original in the A. This one has the correct F in it, though. There's J.J. Abrams. Fucking huge-ass ship. Which I do like the ship. I think it's a cool-looking ship. It's a cool design.
I do, too.
I've always liked the Excelsior class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the Excelsior, too. I like the fact that it's got like kind of blocky and flat surfaces.
Well, the Excelsior was only, the second ship that we ever saw that wasn't a standard Enterprise-looking ship. Because the first one was the Reliant. The Reliant in 82, Wrath of Khan. That was the first Starfleet ship we ever saw that was a traditional like saucer section ship. We saw lots of shuttles and things like that. That was the first like full-size saucer section style ship that didn't just look like a copy of the Enterprise. And then the next one we saw was the Excelsior.
Right.
So it was like only but then once we got into Next Generation, they started pumping out all different kinds of ships.
Wasn't there a three nacelle Enterprise-looking ship that appeared on the original series? Was it Commodore Decker? Wasn't that his ship?
Well, the Enterprise actually in the All Good Things series finale, the future Enterprise had a third nacelle and a giant, basically railgun style phaser underneath of it.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the third nacelle Enterprise, but in the original series, I do believe there was a third nacelle, an old school like Constitution class thing, but it was bigger and it had a third nacelle on it.
That's a Dreadnought.
So,
yep.
Could be, yeah. But it was like real. It was the original series vintage of type of ship.
So I actually like the Odyssey class. Which,
the F looks cool.
That's actually a fan design too. They actually put it in universe.
And it's huge.
Oh yeah, it is a monster ship. Not as big as the J, because the J came from
what year was it? 25 something or something like that?
Yeah, like they're in like the Time
War. No. It was further than that. Yeah, 28th century or some shit.
They should have made the letter down the alphabet because that's a big jump.
Yeah, that's only 2 generations from where we are now with the fucking G. 2, 3,
I
3
know
generations.
they rechristened the Titan as Enterprise G, but did they leave Enterprise because it wasn't destroyed in the battle? Like, did they leave the other one Enterprise F? The Odyssey class.
I don't know. We never saw the F, did we?
It was like leading, like they're in the fleet. That was actually the command ship.
Oh, was that the one that Shelby was on?
Yeah, the one Shelby got murdered on.
Okay, yeah.
That was the Enterprise F.
Okay.
What happened to E after?
Did we ever?
They had
I
a-
don't think we ever.
They had a
found
line.
out.
They had a line in passing, kind of hinting that the ship's gone because Worf was captain at the time, and that was like, we can't use the E. It's like Worf's like, that was not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the Enterprise E was destroyed.
Had all those gold ships in the captain's room.
Now, the original concept for the Ambassador class looks so much better than one they use on the screen in the
Right.
show. There's a Fleet Yards, I think it's the YouTube channel. They worked with the original designer and did a 3D model of what the Ambassador class should look like. It looks more like a better transition between the Excelsior to the Galaxy. It's a much better design. I never have liked the in-show Ambassador class. It looks too primitive, too clunky looking.
Yeah, it's got lots of sharp angles and the way the pylons come out and then go up.
They had like a week or 2 weeks to make that model for the show, so they pieced together what they could, and they just kept it in universe. They should just wrote that off and just went back with the original concept for the Ambassador. Is beautiful. It's very reminiscent of the Galaxy class.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll remove that for a second.
It had the more oval shaped saucer too, than like instead of the round saucer. Like the Ambassador almost looks like a blend between the TOS Enterprise and the D.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Excelsior mixed in with the neck.
So it's like a little bit of Excelsior with a little D in it.
Every time you guys say Excelsior, I just picture this nerd being like, Excelsior!
Stanley.
Or fucking, what's the dude's name who you love so much, who was the ex-vice president under... Oh, God, I'm so tired right now. I can't think of words. Skip.
An like a real ex-vice president?
Yeah, the environmentalist guy.
Oh!
Al Gore.
Al Gore.
Say Excelsior in Al Gore voice.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
There you go. Yeah.
Excelsior.
What?
Yes. We're going to do the show today.
Yeah.
Al Gore would do the show and talk about Star Trek. Yeah. That.
Oh, I thought of the perfect movie script if the Borg and Unicron ever fought.
Mm-hmm.
Opening scene: Borg attacks Unicron. Unicron says, "What the fuck?" Roll credits.
I mean, yeah. Pretty close.
Oh, I have another challenge for the panel. How about the Borg versus the Zerg?
The Zerg?
The Borg versus the Zerg?
Yeah.
I don't remember enough about the mythology.
The Borg would destroy the Zerg, I think. Pretty sure.
Okay.
I gotta say, the Zerg from StarCraft?
Yeah,
Right.
they're just
Yeah,
biological fucking, like they're just like anything else that can be taken over by the Zerg.
They do have a queen with an intelligence, but overall they're just kind of fucking mindless drones.
Okay.
Although
Pretty much, yeah.
Actually, the Borg are the exact same way. They got a queen, and they're a bunch of mindless fucking drones.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I don't know.
Borg versus Tyranids.
I don't know. Ask fucking Duke if he ever comes back, but he disappeared. Because I don't know. I don't know. enough.
I
about
never did like when after they introduced the concept of the Borg Queen. It seemed like the Borg lost a lot because the entire where they were one hive mind, always functioning together. That was cooler than having basically a ruler.
Right.
They were more of a threat. Seemed like before they introduced the Borg Queen.
Well, there was something very creepy and inhuman about the fact that there was no single consciousness.
Exactly.
There was no individuality. There was something much more sinister and creepy about the fact that they were so different that they just all worked in unison, and there was no singular identity to any one of them. And there was, I don't know, there was just something about that worked really well as a villain.
You know what it is, dude?
That away when you added the Queen.
They're zombies. That's what they are. They're just zombies with technology.
Yeah.
So anyone who was like, "Oh, I'm afraid of zombies" or whatever, it's like, well, what would be the worst form of a zombie be? I know zombies that can fucking use computers or something.
Laser beams, yeah.
Yeah, when
and even they even looked the part too, because they were pasty, they looked dead, they looked unalive,
Well, basically, and they turn you into zombies too by biting you.
Right.
Right. When they zapped you, they got you. Yeah.
Yep. By introducing the Borg Queen, you just made them like the villain of the week type thing. It's like,
yeah,
they really felt imposing when they were just a hive mind.
But at the same time, comparing them to an ant hive or a beehive was not entirely off the reservation. You know what I mean? Because ant hives and beehive or ant hills and beehives are kind of a collective unto themselves, aren't they? I mean, you have drones, and then you have the central command, and then and then everybody works for the queen.
Mm-hmm. Firefighter says Borg equals space zombie commies.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I got it. I was trying to find the comparison that I was looking at that shows the G next to the D. I can't.
My D is bigger than your G.
Yeah, the last link in the private chat shows an overview of some the Star Trek ships. I tried to just put the picture, but they put a asterisk in there, and so they didn't. StreamYard didn't like that. So you can copy and paste the link.
Let's see. Yeah, so what I was trying to do.
The D is on regular ships has got the biggest saucer, the Galaxy class.
Well, it's tied with the Nebula.
Yeah,
their saucers are interchangeable.
That's what I always thought they could have done. With the retrieving the Enterprise before they actually rebuilt the Enterprise, they could actually basically brought in anything and just retrieve the saucer section. Which I'm glad they did.
And the Nebula can be used for just such a duty like that. Like you can, their saucer sections are interchangeable. In my opinion, the Nebula class is actually better because the fact that it's so squat means that the same shield generator can, your shields are going to be 15% more durable because there's less surface area.
Really, the Dominion War, they should have been, instead of pumping out hold out Galaxy class, they should have been pumping out Nebula class. The Nebula class, you got that big arch on top, which is a weapons platform. It can be interchanged, but one of the modules is a weapons platform, and it can have massive firepower. And like you said, it's got better compact shielding too, if it's a smaller profile.
So a shielding could be, and you can put a shield generator, an extra shield projector on that weapons platform. It doesn't have to be like a torpedo launcher. It can be a weapons or a shield generator, which produces an outer shield, kind of like the Scimitar had, where you had the two layers of shielding. You can produce, and that thing could just be a complete tank. Anyways,
well, I'm trying to figure out which one. this one and this one up here both look like the E.
Yeah, I think they're both
I don't know why there's two of those on there, but we got the
might be a refit.
D, the D. That one of those is the E. This one's the Prometheus, right? This one
maybe like remember at the end of Nemesis, the E was badly damaged. They had to take it back in the dock, and they may have done a refit.
I think isn't this the Prometheus? The one
I think so.
Yeah.
And we got Voyager. We got the what's it called? The Steam Runner class, which is just a torpedo fucking launcher. That's all that fucker does. It just goes up and launches. That's what this thing was designed for. This one, and this one here, the Akira and the Steamboat class, were designed specifically to fight the Borg.
Right.
And this one was just a torpedo.
The Defiant as well.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, and then to Defiant too. But this one, yeah, the Akira here was just fucking quick and fully loaded, and this thing would just show up and fucking like it was just loaded with fucking torpedoes.
What they could have done too is like with the Akira class, they could actually have them like dock with a Defiant class. Like that way we can double up the ships.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Akira is that it's also a carrier as well. If you look at the specs, it has a fly-through capability for shuttles. It can hold massive amounts of shuttles. Mm-hmm. So you can take fighters and fly it out of the Akira as well. And interestingly enough, it's big enough and powerful enough to be a hero ship. But if you turn it sideways, it will fit inside the saucer of a galaxy or a nebula.
This one here, what is this? The Centaur class, right?
I can't remember. It looks like
I think that's the Centaur class, if I remember right, which is a weird fucking ship.
Looks like the saucer section from an Excelsior.
It's a weird, Centaur type, which was this weird fucking. It was. I can't remember if this is one of the ones that they were like throwing together. I think it was. This was one of the ones they were throwing together during the Dominion War, where they were taking like Excelsior class. Saucer sections and strapping pylons and nacelles to them.
Which one is it?
The Centaur class. Let me find
Zoom in. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was. Is they were just strapping. Excelsior fucking saucer sections to this.
That's an Ares. That's an Ares class.
No, this is a Centaur class.
Are you sure? Because that was in there was a Star Trek production about the their first encounter with the Klingons and how they produced the first what do you call it warp ship before the Constitution class, and I think it was called an Ares class, and that's what they used to fight the Klingons.
This is the Centaur class, I think. If I remember right, let's see. Yeah, Centaur was Excelsior model and the torpedo bridge.
I don't think the showrunners much cared for
during the Dominion War.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the showrunners much cared for the Master class because you never saw those in the Dominion War. Because you think they should still have a bunch of master classes. And they would be more advanced than Excelsiors. You saw tons of retrofitted for Excelsiors, even Miranda class from the 2S era.
Yeah.
But no ambassadors. And fleets of Galaxy Wings.
Yeah, the Galaxy did very well in the Dominion Wars. They really represented.
Yep. They were basically...
In the Nebula.
They were basically pumping out galaxies just to be powerhouses and not putting most of the amenities in them.
Right. Which is all the Nebula was. It was a poor man's galaxy class.
Which, doing that, I don't know why they just didn't make the drive section. Why build the saucer sections? Because that's what the whole point of the drive section is. It's a warship with a saucer on it.
Right. Good point.
What is that little one down there on the bottom in the middle?
That's the Defiant.
Looks like a piece. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the Defiant.
Looks like a piece just broke off the other one.
We got
Yeah,
well,
Defiant's a
some of
little
these I
badass.
know. So Enterprise E, the C, the Prometheus, Nebula, Original Constitution, Centaur, Stargazer, NX-01. This is the the Nebula class?
The one on the far right, yeah, upper right
Yeah,
hand. This is Nebula.
Nebula,
Yeah,
that's what the one we saw that was on Voyager. What was it? The Equinox?
Yeah.
I think.
yeah.
Then we've got, I think this is J.J. Abrams' version, Excelsior.
I think that's the JJ scale to fit the.
Oh, sorry, this is the A.
Yeah.
And this is the original Constitution. I forget the name of this one. I can't remember this one here.
Yeah, I think that JJ's been rescaled to match this universe.
Well, yeah, because
isn't the Defiant one of the more powerful ships up there, though? Even though it's one of the smallest ones.
Pound for pound, yes.
It's running a warp core that can drive a Galaxy class.
Yeah, that and it's mostly it's got almost no space for people. It's a fucking weapons pod, is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
A crew of 50 runs it.
Yeah, it's just a giant weapons pod with really big fucking engines and very little.
Yeah,
space.
like
exactly.
The individual quarters are real Spartan, and that there's no holodeck, and so there's no amenities whatsoever on it.
Yeah.
And it took O'Brien to make it actually work.
And this one, I'm blanking on what this one was called. This is another one they created to fight the Borg, and I don't remember what it was called.
I believe that's the Pingina class.
I knew what that was called once upon a time. It was developed in tandem with the Defiant.
And if you look at the
all of these were this one, the Steamboat, the Akira, and the Defiant were the four they designed specifically to fight the Borg.
If you look at the Akira class, I remember watching a video like when they were kit bashing it, the saucer is the NX-01.
Well, they designed the Akira before the NX-01. That's where they got the design for the NX-01.
Right. 100%.
Because the NX-01 is basically just the Akira with the nacelles turned the other way.
Yep.
But yeah.
I like the catamarans beside the command pod. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Was there only one Prometheus? Did they ever make more of those?
Well, they only showed one in the show, so I don't know.
Because I know it was like some experimental fucking thing, and
it can split into 3 ships.
But
right.
I don't ever remember them talking about making more because it was incredibly fucking advanced. You would think it could be completely remote controlled, or it can have a crew. It could split into 3 ships that were all equally really fucking fast and really dangerous. It seemed like a good design. You'd think they'd make more of those. I don't know.
You would think.
Oh god! In watching TNG, the first time they split the sausage section off for a fight, I was like, "What the hell? This is so cool!"
Oh yeah, Encounter at Farpoint when they did that at the end of the episode.
The very first episode of TNG, they split.
Did they ever do it again though? Like,
yeah, they did.
I think like one time.
They did it in Best of Both Worlds. When they were fighting the Borg after they captured Picard.
Right.
But I think that might have been the only 2 times.
That was the only time.
Go.
The biggest weakness to the saucer separation is, well, the generations when they blew the ship up, they separated.
They did it another time when Geordie LaForge took command of the Enterprise.
Oh,
once upon a time.
Yeah, we do.
The
weapons, the extinct race.
The war games.
Geordie.
Remember that planet where they actually extinct race? Their weapon systems actually killed them off, and Probe kept attacking the ship, and Geordie was in charge.
Yeah.
Right, and he said, "I want you to take command of the saucer section," because there's that one lieutenant who technically outranked him, but Picard left LaForge in charge. And he's like, "I technically outranked," he's like, "The captain left me in charge." So he's like, "Here's the thing: I want you to take command of the saucer section and get the hell out of here for safety purposes. You know what I mean? Take the civilian personnel out of here." And so that was another one. So there's like 3 times when they separated the saucer.
Yeah, the Star Trek universe game, I believe that when they did a refit for the Galaxy, they gave the saucer a warp drive, a warp core.
That's cool.
I like it when they call it the saucer sep. Like it's like, oh, they gotta abbreviate separation. They call it a sep.
The one thing I always wanted to see on the show, because when I was a kid, I can't remember if it was like Earl or who the fuck made it. I had this huge fucking Enterprise D model kit that I put together. And it came with a detachable captain's yacht, which you never see in the show. You've never actually seen it. But, like, it was cool. It's like the bottom, the under part, the opposite side of the saucer section from the bridge. That little fucking oval-shaped thing is actually the captain's yacht that detaches, and it's like this huge luxury fucking shuttle that can, I think, do like warp 7 on its own, and like and it was on my model kit. I remember that as a kid. It was on my fucking model kit, and I always wanted to see it in the fucking show, and they never showed it.
They found with Nemesis, they actually
we saw the captain's yacht on the E.
Yep.
Yeah,
Voyager actually has one of those ships, but they never used.
Well,
and it's a really cool looking ship. You when you see the flyovers and stuff underneath of it, you can actually see the silhouette where the ship is supposed to drop down. I forget what it's called.
Instead, it's like we got the fucking Delta Flyer.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna be honest, I never liked the Delta Flyer. Like I like the concept of the Delta Flyer, but the ship was ugly as shit.
Okay. Runabout versus Delta Flyer.
The Runabout was cooler. The Runabout actually had like crew quarters and shit.
Yeah.
Like the Runabout was actually a ship, like a full ship. It was small, but it was a full. Didn't it do like warp? Like a Runabout could do like warp 9.
Yeah, runabouts had warp capability, and they also had weapons like phasers and stuff like that, and replicators and the whole bit.
They're very
cool. Pretty sure that everything you just said could also be said about the Delta Flyer.
I don't think so. The Delta Flyer didn't have like crew quarters and shit.
Okay, minus crew quarters.
And I think it had phasers, but a Runabout actually had a limited amount of torpedoes. It
yes.
had a torpedo launcher.
All right.
Wasn't the captain's yacht technically a runabout as well?
I mean, they used the Runabout and as if it was a captain's yacht in a couple of episodes of TNG in that last season, because that was after the Runabouts had already made an appearance on DS9, and so they used them in an episode or two of TNG. But they kind of used it like a captain's yacht. Like, remember that one episode where there's all those fucking bubbles of time? And it's Picard, Picard, Troy, and I forget who the third one was on a runabout because they're doing something where they're like, oh, we got to go do this fucking thing, and all the little bubbles of time start popping up in the runabout and shit. Because they had that one, and they used it like you would use a captain's yacht.
Right.
They just used. I think it's just because look, we already have the sets, so let's fucking
LaForge was the other one.
Was LaForge? Yeah.
Oh, that's where they get to the Enterprise and like their Enterprise is being just blown up in a Romulan warbird.
Yeah, because it's like trapped in a fucking time bubble, and they got to figure out how to save it and stop it from happening. All that shit. Yeah. I like the Runabout. I think it was a cool ship, man. I think it was a cool design for a ship. It's smaller, it's more compact, but it's still fast. It's got limited weapons. It made sense for DS9 to have a complement of those ships. You know.
I wouldn't mind another series using the Galaxy class with modern budgets. They can actually show more of the ship because they never showed the main shuttle bay on TNG because they didn't have the budget. Because the main shuttle bay is freaking huge. You can actually park runabouts inside of it.
Yeah. They always showed that one at the rear.
Yep. Those two. There's 2 shuttle bays in the neck, and that's the ones they always showed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like Star Trek, man. I've said it before. I'll say it again. In the great Star Trek versus Star Wars battle, I think Star Trek's better. Star Trek has given me more hours of entertainment than Star Wars ever has. I love Star Wars. Star Wars is fantastic. Grew up on it like everybody else did. But I've gotten way more hours of entertainment from Star Trek than I will ever get in my lifetime of Star Wars. Even if Star Wars puts out a movie a year for the rest of my life, it will still never be as much as Star Trek has already given us.
Right.
So,
and Star Trek is also a peek into our own future as opposed to some mythological galaxy far, far away kind of thing. It's like if we continue on our current timeline, this very well could be our future, where we become an advanced spacefaring race. You know,
it's actually inspired fucking real world scientists, technology, things like that.
Well,
you know,
TOS and TNG era, not so much the modern Star Trek, because like the writers are like crap, because they're technobabble in modern Star Trek time crystals.
Yeah.
And let's science this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the modern Star Trek, right? Like I don't know, man. The way that they seem to try to make everything about drama, like they want to make everything like a dramatic show. And I know we've talked about this before. I don't agree with it. I think it's the wrong direction to go. I think they need to stick to the original formula of Star Trek, The Next Generation, for the most part, minus the Dominion Wars and a few other episodes, how Deep Space Nine went. For the most part, except for the Borg, like overarching storyline, how Voyager went. You know, maybe you could throw something like that in there too. But there needs to be that episodic nature to it, where at the end of the episode, everything is back to normal. Everything is that way. You can just go to the next episode. You can watch any episode in any order, and it makes sense. You know, you don't have to be like, well, what part of the Dominion War am I in right now? You know what I mean? Like, and figure it out.
Yeah.
But it's the Arrow shuttle is what Voyager's kept me on.
The Arrow shuttle. Okay. Yeah. And we never saw it, did we?
No, we just saw the silhouette of it underneath of the ship.
Which made no sense when it's like, oh, we need a better, faster ship than a shuttle. Let's create a whole new thing other than the thing that's already here.
I like to see them come back to Starfleet. It's like when they show off the Death of Fire, it's like people in Starfleet's like engineering is like, why didn't you just use the Arrow shuttle?
Yeah.
What?
It's there. You didn't know? Like, yeah.
You've been in this ship for 7 years. You didn't find the giant little shuttle shape underneath the saucer section.
Right there. It's
a cool looking ship too. It's like I sent you like a link. It's got a picture of it.
Oh, let's see.
You click on it, it'll blow it up. That top picture.
Yeah,
it's underneath the saucer section. It is a cool looking ship, and it's much bigger than a Class 3 shuttle. What they wanted to replace.
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
See,
it looks like runabout size.
Yeah, it looks like it's about runabout size, but with bigger nacelles.
Bigger engines, yeah.
Yeah. Why the fuck did they use this damn thing? Make no damn sense.
Plus, too, the Intrepid class actually has 2 warp cores. They've actually had episodes like where they had to eject a warp core and retrieve it because we have to do it with a shuttle because we can't go to warp. It's like you just ejected 1 warp core. Why don't you use the backup that's built into the Intrepids?
Look at that damn thing.
That looks pretty aggressive, like a fighter plane or something.
Yeah, it does. That's pretty awesome.
Now, I'm sure that's a high warp capable ship too. The size of it, it looks like a sleeked up version of a runabout.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they not use that in the show?
In the chat, Eduardo and Josh are saying, "What about Stargate? You're not talking about Stargate." I fucking love Stargate.
Stargate's awesome.
Love Stargate. I still love Stargate SG-1. I still have never watched every episode of Atlantis. For whatever reason, when it was on, and this is one of those shows I need to go back and watch, it just didn't connect with me the way SG-1 did.
So the villains didn't make enough sense. They were not advanced enough.
The fucking space vampires.
Yeah,
that's what they were. I did.
I really like the movie, and so I entertained the thought of watching the TV show, and I didn't at first for whatever reason. And then it got so far down the line with the TV show where things were so crazy and insane, like what the hell is going on here, that I felt like I could never get into it because I was just too far behind, and I never did.
SG-1 is one of the greatest sci-fi series ever, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up there with the Star Treks and the Babylon 5s and BSG and all that shit. Like, it's one of the greatest sci-fi shows ever. It's fucking fantastic. What was the last one? Star Trek
Atlantis
Universe.
I don't know. Stargate
Universe.
I really liked that one. It only lasted 2 seasons, then got canceled.
My issue with the Universe, they had the wrong people as the main characters. Some of the military crews, like I rather would they seem more interesting than like the senator's daughter.
Yeah, I just liked the concept. Granted, it was by the way, a complete ripoff of Star Trek Voyager. Like, no doubt about it. Complete ripoff of Star Trek Voyager. But I still liked, it was good because it was a concept which I liked. I loved Star Trek Voyager. And it was, but in this Stargate universe where we were learning more about the ancients and ancient technology, and I thought that a couple of it, specifically, what's his face, the main scientist, what is his real name? I'm blanking on his name.
Robert Carlyle.
Carlyle, there you go, Robert Carlyle. I like him as an actor, and I thought he nailed that role. I thought he was clearly the best character on the show. You know, as far as he's not a bad guy, but he'll do bad things to get what he wants, and he's there on the ship with everybody else, and I thought he was a fantastic character because he was kind of this morally ambiguous character. He wasn't just a good guy, and he was very interesting, and I liked him a lot because but I liked the show a lot. I was upset that it got canceled because I think it could have gone on for a long time. There's a lot of stories to tell because they're in, they're in a whole other fucking part of the universe with this ship, learning all the, finding all this new stuff that we never got to see in any of the other Stargates, whole new stories to open up, just like with what Voyager did, where we got because we got TNG, we got all the movies, we got Next Generation, we got the original series, we got DS9. What else can you do? We've seen every story 100 times. I know. Let's send to the other side of the fucking galaxy and get some new stories in, which I thought was, although I'm not a fan of the Kazon, I think they're horrible, horrible fucking bad guys. But when they got into the point of the Borg and stuff, where we got to learn more about the Borg, which was always one of those groups and villains that you wanted to know more about.
I was so glad that when they got out of Kazon space.
Oh God, yes.
Was the Kazon those poor man's Klingons?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like the Oompa Loompas with dreadlocks.
Oompa Loompas with dreadlocks.
Well,
they don't help that I'm having dreadlocks. What are you talking about?
The only thing I liked about the Kazons, I liked their origin, but not much to the anything else. Their origin seems to make more sense for Klingons because the Kazons were enslaved by a much more advanced race. That's where all the Kazons' technology comes from. They overthrew that race and took all their equipment and learned from them.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, that was the Klingons' origin story, but it got retconned.
The Kazons are basically scavengers. They use technology they don't really know a lot about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When what's her name? Kessler, what's her name? The Cardassian that was pretending to be a Starfleet officer.
Seska,
that's it. When she gave them tech and they tried to reverse engineer it, they blew their ship up.
I'm not too
far.
One
of my favorite characters from Voyager was the serial killer. Remember him?
He was great.
Oh, dude, he was so good. He was so fucking good. Especially when he would start to and he was only in a handful of episodes. He wasn't in there in the show a lot, but
he's a good actor too. He played that.
Yeah, it's Chucky. It's fucking Chucky.
Yep, and he also was on Babylon 5.
He's from Dune. Unfortunately, he was in that shitty version of Dune, but he's in
one
Dune.
of the greatest episodes of Babylon 5 too, like where he was a serial killer and he had his memories wiped and he was a monk. And
who was he in Dune?
He was in Dune. He was one of the. Was he the doctor with the thing on his head?
Oh no, was he one of the Fremen?
No, he wasn't one of the Fremen.
He was part of House Atreides.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking too. He's probably part
I
of
think he was
Trade
the
in
doctor.
air.
Isn't he the doctor that fucking killed Paul's dad? I think.
I don't know.
I think he was. But yeah, and then
IMDb, motherfucker.
then he was Chucky. He's the voice of Chucky in all the Chucky movies. He played Chucky when in the very first Child's Play. At the beginning of the movie, he's the serial killer who dies, and then goes into the
and becomes the doll.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then he's the fucking serial killer on Voyager. I loved him. He was a great fucking character.
No, he was the best part of Voyager.
I love the Child's Play show, the movies.
My wife and daughter are literally watching Child's Play right now in the bedroom. Like that's what they've been doing while I'm doing this show. They're in there fucking watching Child's Play.
Oh,
I was never a fan of Chucky and Child's Play movies.
I was. The original ones
like
were
them.
better. Like the spin-offs and shit, like The Seed of Chucky, The Bride of Chucky. To me, it just kind of got a little stupid.
Yeah.
But the originals were fucking great.
I'll leave the Bride of Chucky alone, but yeah, all the rest older than that, I like.
I never watched.
Wasn't that Jennifer Tilly that was in?
Best part about Bride of Chucky was Jennifer Tilly's tits.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like the actual Jennifer Tilly, not the doll. Yeah.
Not the doll. Not the doll.
Well, I mean, do y'all remember the?
Did anybody watch the reboot of Chucky?
No, I don't.
No.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I'll be honest. I don't really give a shit about Child's Play that much. It's not like one of those horror series I really like. Like, it's okay. Some of the earlier movies are okay, but I just don't. I don't care about it enough. Like, it's not. I don't know. It's not one of the best. In my opinion, not one of the better horror franchises.
But here's a question: is the first Chucky a Christmas movie?
It does take place at Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
That is true.
So therefore, it qualifies.
It's official. It's a fucking Christmas movie, just like Die Hard is.
Right. We're gonna have to throw that into the bracket thing next Christmas here.
Why he gets the fucking? It's why he gets the doll, because it's Christmas. That's his Christmas present.
Right. Right.
So there you go.
Oh, I watched Violent Night for the first time last night.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I really liked it.
Yep. I love that movie.
I still say the chimney scene was fucking gnarly, dude.
Oh, dude, the chimney scene was great.
Oh, when he grabbed over him, grabbed hold of the bad guy and went.
Yes, that was fucking.
Oh, and then I love when he picked up the fucking when they're in the barn or whatever that fucking thing is, and he picks up the ice skates and just starts.
Yep.
Slaughtering motherfuckers.
That's a really cool scene too. It's like his ring rolls across the floor. No, and like hits the hammer. It's like sledgehammer. It's like, oh yeah.
The lawnmower part was pretty good.
I
want to see.
I want that hammer now. I really want like a big fucking sledgehammer with some like Nordic shit in it. You know?
Yeah. How about the grenade scene when he picks up the grenade and puts it in the dude's pants and he starts running off and he's like, "Wait, I gotta watch."
I gotta watch it.
He's basically Santa because of penance of like the way he used to be.
Yeah.
I like that they threw it. It wasn't much, but it was enough. They threw in some Santa Claus backstory of him being like a fucking Viking warrior and shit. Like, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great movie, man. It like immediately became like in my like top 10 favorite Christmas movies.
Right.
I loved it as soon as I watched it. It's like when the Viking and him basically woke up, it's like that was when it got really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
And David Harbour for me is one of the best Santas in my opinion that has played Santa.
Oh yeah, he was a fantastic Santa. Yeah, it was great, man. I love that shit.
I'm a big fan of Billy Bob Thornton for Santa, but you know.
I'll take Tim Allen as Santa.
Fucking bad Santa.
Oh God.
Couldn't walk right for a week.
I got quickly. We might as well go over this because I watched some movies this week. So I watched some movies so you don't have to. Let me just put it that way. Okay.
Okay.
I watched 4 movies. 3 of the 4 of them, don't watch them. Okay. So I'm just warning you right now. First of all, I watched that new Netflix movie with Jennifer Lopez called Mother.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
I was gonna check the trailer there, but I was like, I knew it was gonna be some bullshit.
It's not good.
I knew it was gonna be some bullshit.
No, it's not good. Yeah. So avoid that one. It's bad. Also watched. Actually, I can't even say I watched this. I got half hour into that new Russell Crowe movie, The Pope's Exorcist. After a half hour, me and my wife were done. Like, I can't. The movie, fucking, it's not good at all. Don't even try to watch it. It's not good. Watch that new. This one kills me here. Watch that new Evil Dead Rise.
Oh boy, I heard about that.
It's not good at all. It's not good.
I heard about that one too.
Everything that makes Evil Dead Evil Dead. It's missing. It's missing.
You know what's funny?
It's missing Sam Raimi. It's missing just the sensibility of the fucking, those movies. It's missing everything.
Yeah, it's more. It don't have the wackiness that's Evil Dead.
It doesn't have.
It has the gore, but that's it.
It is just a boring horror movie. It's got a lot of gore in it. So if you want gore, cool. But I need more than that in a horror movie. And as a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies and Army of Darkness, no, it's not good. I didn't like it. I was bored watching it. So just fucking avoid it. Then we get to the movie that I actually do like. It's not great, but it was a good movie. I watched that movie, The Covenant, which is that new Guy Ritchie movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, where I think it's somewhat based on a true story. But anyway, he's in Afghanistan. He's like special forces or whatever, and he gets into a bind, and his interpreter saves him. And then and then, like, that's the first half of the movie. The second half of the movie is he's no longer in Afghanistan, and he finds out that the guy who saved his life, the interpreter, never got his visa to get him and his family out. And now that guy, because he helped him, this American Special Forces guy, is one of the most wanted people by Al Qaeda. So he goes on a fucking mission to fucking the shit is that?
Yeah, I heard that was inspired by true events.
No, I heard the actual story about that one, but they might play loose on certain things in the movie. But yeah,
he goes on a mission to get the guy and his family out of Afghanistan. Anyway, it was actually a good movie. That was actually a good movie. I did like that one. It's not great. Don't be expecting fucking 13 hours or anything like that. Okay,
right.
But it was a really good movie, and that one I can say you'd probably like it if you watched it. The other 3 are dog shit. Don't watch them. Avoid them. They all suck. So
you still haven't watched Sisu yet?
What?
Oh, okay.
Sisu? No, because I went and it's not in HD yet.
It says it's HD, but it's not. It's some kind of screener or something other.
Yeah, it's definitely not HD.
Yeah, I'm waiting for an HD to watch.
Well, I was going to say this, Matt.
Makes me wonder if they'll even put it in HD because they
Matt.
think it is in HD. Sorry, go ahead.
Which one? I say, which of the 3 movies? Okay, how would you rank the last 3 bad movies? Which is the worst?
The worst one is probably The Pope's Exorcist. I couldn't even get through that. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It was that bad. So I would have to rank that one the worst. And then after that would be Evil Dead Rise, because it's incredibly disappointing that it's that bad and it's part of the Evil Dead franchise. And then Mother is just a bad movie, but like there's no expectation. It's a Jennifer Lopez movie. And if you
what was that about?
think you can watch a movie and convince yourself that yes, Jennifer Lopez is an ex-assassin, and if you find that if you can sit with that, then sure, go ahead and watch it. Like, I guess.
Okay, have you guys seen the preview for this movie about dogs called Strays.
Oh, the animated movie.
No. Or I don't know. Is it? Shit, I don't remember
Yeah, I think it's an anime. Strays is an animated movie that's coming out. I think I saw the trailer of it and it looked kind of funny, but I'll be honest, I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember thinking it looked funny.
Well, would you suggest if you're thinking about watching Mother, just watch Peppermint?
Yeah, Peppermint's way better. Yeah.
Peppermint's just a female version of the Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
an
a good
actual
movie.
enjoyable, fun movie.
Yeah, Peppermint's a very good movie.
Yep.
Just don't waste your time with Mother, then just go watch Peppermint.
I never saw Peppermint. The last one I
She
saw that was
actually,
like
Jennifer Gardner actually surprised
Which, by
me
the
in that
way-
movie.
Which, by the
that's what
way, both chicks are exes. Well, one's not an ex anymore, but both of them are exes of Ben Affleck, and clearly, one Jennifer does a much better job playing a badass, in my opinion.
Very true.
That would be Gardner.
Although Jennifer Lopez did a good job in that movie enough.
Yeah,
Where
but
she
she wasn't
became a
playing
badass.
badass. She was playing somebody who knew she would get her ass kicked. Like she
Yeah.
was playing the battered wife who learned. And if you
Yeah.
remember how she finally got him, was by setting traps everywhere because she knew all it would take was for him to grab her, and she'd be fucked. Which is much more realistic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That because she knew. That's why that whole last scene where she finally fucking kills him, she set the entire house up in a big trap to where he can't actually get a hold of her.
That's essentially guerrilla warfare right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like Jennifer, with the blanking on the other one's name.
Jennifer Gardner.
Jennifer Gardner.
Well, I think part of it has to do with the fact that she was in that fucking show Alias, where she played a fucking badass assassin for years.
Yeah, Elektra.
She plays an assassin much better than Jennifer Lopez does.
Yeah.
Like, I buy her. As a
How many
badass
seasons?
more
How
than
many
Jennifer
seasons
Lopez.
was that show? That was a long
Five,
show.
I think. 5 or 6.
Something like that, yeah.
So okay, was it Jennifer Gardner that was with Ben Affleck, or was it Jennifer Aniston?
But Jennifer Gardner. She's
Okay.
the one
Jennifer Gardner.
She's the one he had kids with.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
His kids are hers.
Mm.
Jennifer Aniston was married to Brad Pitt.
Okay, all right. Well,
Well,
just got my riders. Not that I'm overly concerned with that kind of bullshit celebrity gossip. I'm just kind of meh.
You're getting your Jennifers mixed up, sir.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I did for a moment. Thank you for straightening me out.
There's getting to be too many Jennifers in Hollywood right now.
Too many goddamn Jennifers. There.
I was gonna say one of the
And Becky's.
last assassin movies I
Every
saw.
Jennifer right now.
The one from West Virginia plays the better badass.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was from West Virginia.
Yep.
Jennifer Gardner. Yep.
Yeah, she's from West Virginia, and I remember her doing an interview one time where she was talking about it when she first got into acting. She had to take like fucking voice classes or something because nobody would hire her because she had a really strong West Virginia accent, and she had to take classes so that she didn't sound like she was from West Virginia to get acting jobs.
Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that movie that Jennifer Gardner played in where it was, a religious movie where she was her and her husband?
Dude, where's my car?
No. It was where her daughter fell out of a tree, and before that she was diagnosed with some terminal illness, and then she fell out of a tree.
I know what
And
you're
the fall-
talking about. I've never seen it. I've never seen it, but I don't remember the name of the movie, but I know what you're talking about. She was diagnosed with like something, and then she falls out of a tree, and she's not sick anymore.
Right. And her
Yeah.
husband was actually a vet. He was a veterinarian. And the actor that played her husband and Jennifer Gardner both came to Texas because the story that movie is based on is actually my vet.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. So they actually came to my my local vet clinic and hung out for like a week or so to, get to know the real life people, the doctor, because his name is Dr. Beam. And yeah, he's my local vet.
Oh wow. All right, Gutted out there in the chat says, "Have you watched Silo?" I've watched the first 2 episodes. It is actually pretty good. The problem with that show is it's all based on this big mystery, and I'm a very impatient motherfucker. So I think I'm gonna wait till the show's over so I can binge watch it because I want to know what the fuck's going on. Like the whole show is based on the premise that there is this mystery that has to be figured out, and I'm like, I want to know what the fuck's going on. I don't want to watch it week to week. You know what I mean? And Amazon's doing that release an episode every week shit. And I don't
Lost
like
drove
that
you crazy.
I am like, look, we've dealt with Netflix for about 15 years now. Okay. I'm used to binge watching shit. Don't make me fucking watch shit week to week. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I like it. I like the first 2 episodes. It was really good, and it made me just want more. So now I'm like, well, so I haven't watched the 3rd episode, which came out this week. And I'll probably, I don't know. I mean, I may start binge watching like the last week or something to catch up. But I liked it. I liked the first 2 episodes. It was good.
What show is this again?
It's called Silo. It's on Amazon.
I hadn't heard of that one.
The premise is it takes place in this giant fucking underground post-apocalyptic silo. And apparently everything outside the silo in the world has been destroyed, and there's toxic gas, and nobody can leave. And these people have been down there for at least a couple hundred years, and everybody who's in there has lived there their entire lives, and all they know is that they can't go outside. And it's thousands and thousands and thousands of people. This whole fucking city is underground, and the show it leaves the premise of the show, I guess the best way to describe it is to figure out, are they really trapped down there? Is the world still really bad outside? Some people don't think it is. And there's people trying to figure shit out. I won't give any more than that away. You learn more than that in the first 2 episodes. But
so it's kind of a psychological thriller in that regard?
Kind of, yeah. So there's shit
no
going
monsters.
on. There's shit going on. And you know, the mystery is, okay, can they leave? And if they can, why are they being kept down there, and who's keeping them down there? And there's obviously stuff that's being hidden from the people that live there, because you see some things in the first couple episodes. There's like mysteries. And so then you've got this one main character and who's trying to figure out what's going on and figure out what all these mysteries lead up to. So it's a show based on the premise of this mystery, and being an impatient motherfucker, I don't want to wait fucking weeks at a time to fucking watch this goddamn shit.
Well, to be fair, to get on you on that, I'm surprised you watched Mandalorian and all that stuff instead of just binge watch.
Mandalorian's different because each episode's kind of self-contained, and there's kind of a story per each episode. You know what I mean?
So like, my connection crept out.
Yeah, you know, when there's a show where like you at least get a full story, even if there's a bigger storyline, you get like a full story, beginning, middle, and end in an episode. Like, I'm okay with that. But when the entire show is based on one premise and one premise alone, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to watch the whole thing.
Understand. That was the point I was trying to bring up. I'm pretty sure Lost drove you mad if you ever watched that show.
I did watch that show. No, I actually did watch that show. And I did watch that show week to week. I actually really like Lost. I know a lot of people didn't like it. And I think that's just because they were, I don't know, too dumb to understand the ending of that show.
No,
like,
I like it, but the ending.
Everybody who I've talked to who didn't like Lost, I've asked them why they didn't like Lost. And they say the same thing to me every time. Well, because you find out they were dead the whole time. Well, clearly you didn't watch the fucking show, because that's not what happened at all. So what the fuck are everybody I know who doesn't like it? Well, turns out they were dead the whole time. They died in the plane crash. No, they fucking didn't. Did you even watch the fucking show? Like, did you miss seasons of this shit? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They were dead the whole time. No, they fucking weren't. Like, it's just a weird fucking thing. And there is this public consciousness of fucking thought in people who watched that show and completely did not understand the entire last season of that fucking show.
Wasn't there one of the survivors in the? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, wasn't there one of the survivors in the first season who actually died? Wasn't it like the chick's stepbrothers? Didn't so? How do you die when you're dead? What is it?
That's the whole thing. They weren't dead.
Yeah.
They were on the fucking
Okay.
island. But
And that's my point.
So in the last season of the show,
Yo,
flashes back and forth between a bunch of the characters who are seemingly in this world back in the modern city, and some of them remember being on the island, and some of them don't. It flashes back and forth between that storyline and the storyline of what's going on the island.
Matt.
And the most I didn't watch it, but I do know one of the most unrealistic things about Lost. The entire time they were there, the fat guy didn't lose weight.
That's true.
That's right.
May never die.
Yeah.
Well, and
man.
it flashes back and forth between this scenario and the other scenario of what's going on the island. And I guess some people were confused because in the end you find out the scenario where they're all there back in civilization. Some of them remember the island, some of them don't. That scenario turns out that was like purgatory. The people that were there were dead. And the point was, all those people who were on the island, I'm going to explain it to everybody who didn't fucking have the brain capacity to fucking get this show. Okay? The point was that all the people who were on the island, they went through, because of their connection to the island and their connection to each other, they were all so bound together in their life that when they died, whatever the forces that be decided they needed to all go to heaven at the same time. So as they died, instead of going to heaven, they would go to this purgatory, not purgatory, whatever this kind of middle, I guess that's purgatory.
Yeah, purgatory, yeah.
They would go to purgatory and they would live there kind of in this seemingly normal life until every one of them died. They all died at different points in their life. Some of them died on the island. Some of them got off the island, finished living their lives, and then eventually died of old age. But as each of them died off, instead of going to heaven, they would go to this purgatory place to live until they had all finally lived their lives and died. Like Jack, the main character, he dies on the island. You see him die at the end of the fucking last episode. And when he dies, he goes to purgatory. And he goes there where everybody else is waiting for them. And in the very end, they fucking, okay, he's finally died off. Everybody's finally died. We're all meeting here and we all go to heaven at the same time because we were so bound together in life. We get to go together in death. Right? They weren't dead the whole time on the fucking island. If you think that, you didn't watch the goddamn last season or you just didn't understand the last season. Because it made
I agree with you, Matt. I think most people, which understand this, don't like the story because that's like purgatory compared to other shit that could have been interesting.
Is that really what happens when we die?
I have no fucking clue. My impression of what happens when we die is fuck all, nothing. Not a goddamn thing. You're fucking worm food and you're gone. That's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't be mad at some of us wants to have immortality. If that's that.
Yeah. Right. If what happens when you pass away is completely and totally, to some people, is completely and totally unknown and scary, then yeah, you're going to want to live forever.
Yeah.
Like, rather than face the unknown.
That's the whole reason we created the afterlife, is because we as humans are scared of death and we want to think there's something good on the other side. And then we want to, and then certain people in positions of power were like, well, there's something good on the other side. We can threaten people with something bad on the other side if they don't do what we think needs to be done in their lives.
Yeah.
Here's the fact of the matter, people. Enjoy your fucking life because that's what you got.
Right.
That's what you got. Enjoy your life. Fucking love your kids, love your family, love your friends. Try and be happy because that's it. That's it. If you're dead, you're fucking dead. Even if you read the Bible, if you've read it properly, all right? Once you're dead, you're fucking dead. Okay? There's only a few people that go to heaven, and there's only a few people that will survive to the end and live in eternal paradise on earth. That's if you read the Bible. Most people, the vast majority of human beings that have ever been alive on this planet, even if you believe the Bible, are just dead. They don't go anywhere. They don't go to hell. They don't go to heaven. They don't get resurrected in eternal happiness on paradise on earth under Jesus's reign for 10,000 years, which is what the Bible says. Most people just fucking die. That's it. So enjoy your fucking life.
So
Okay?
you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and that's the fact.
There you have the facts of life.
Unless you find that immortality, hit me up.
For the vast majority of people in all of human existence, your life is what you have. That's all you've got. So enjoy it. Come on. Enjoy your fucking life. Don't fucking sit there and wait for shit after life. Don't be like, I hope I'm happy when I die. Bitch, you're going to be worm food, okay?
I mean, I would almost have no problem taking the ghost route, but that sounds like hell and purgatory to me, being on repeat.
I respectfully disagree, but this is not a religious chat.
Well, I mean, even if you believe the Bible, it straight up says most people will just die. And that's it. Once they die, that's it. There's nothing else for them. Even if you believe the Bible, that's what it says. Okay? Most people are just going to die. If you're one of the lucky 144,000 that get to go to heaven because you've been specially chosen by God, you get to go to heaven. That is 144,000 people out of all of human existence. What are the chances you're one of those 144,000 out of all of human existence? Not good, people. Not good. Okay? Let me just throw it out. There's currently 7.5 billion of us. 144,000 ain't shit. Okay? And we're talking about out of all of human history. So if you're going to take those odds and have a shitty life now, hoping that you get to be one of those 144,000s, go ahead. Play the odds, motherfucker. Have fun with that. I'd rather enjoy life now. Because odds are, once I die, that's it.
See, and I still think that if you read the Bible, there's plenty of stuff in there that talks about going to heaven.
Bible,
Again, it's not a religious chat. I don't want to go down the fucking path because, you know, there's like tons and tons of stuff in the Bible about, well, I prepared the room for you and all these other things. You know what I mean? It's like, you could say that and that's fine, and I could say the other thing and that's fine, but let's not go there. Let's just not.
Well,
let's agree that we don't agree.
I'm right, and you
There
don't
you
want
go,
to
Matt.
discuss this?
Let's just agree that we don't agree because you're not right and I'm not right.
I am right.
And
I've
you're
read.
not wrong and I'm not wrong.
Guarantee you, I've read the Bible cover to cover more times than you have. More times than anybody in here.
Did you understand it?
Absolutely. I was raised.
On a geek-related note, I got a Batmobile.
I know.
Not
Wait, I'll
yours,
say this.
but,
I was gonna say this, man. How would you feel that you died right and turned into a Star Wars ghost?
A Force ghost?
Yep, good old Force ghost.
Pipe in the chat says, isn't that Jehovah's Witnesses that have the number never heard Christianity? It's literally in the Bible. That's how I know most people haven't read the fucking Bible. It says 144,000 people in the fucking Bible. Read it. That's not a Jehovah's Witness thing. That's literally in the goddamn Bible. It literally says it. Just because, like, the Catholic Church never talks about it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's literally in the Bible as translated directly from Hebrew scriptures.
Hey, Matt. What is your favorite World War II fighter plane?
Ooh. I know you're obsessed with this right now, so you know way more about this than I do. You know what? I'm going to take this in a completely different direction. When I was a kid, some of my favorite toys in like the late 80s were the Micro Machines airplanes.
Yes.
They had the little and they had all the World War II fucking fighter planes. And I don't know the names of all of them. This is not my area of expertise. My favorite one was always the one that had 2 fuselages. And I don't remember
that's the F-82.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, the dual-seater, dual fuselage, dual propeller, everything.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the P-51 Mustang. P-51 Mustang's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Zeros are cool too, though. The Mitsubishi Zeros.
Yes.
The F-82 that Matt's talking about is basically 2 Mustangs smacked together. Basically, 2 Mustang fuselages smacked together with 2 pilots, and that thing is a beast. It has like 6 machine guns in that middle wing between the 2 fuselages, and it shoots like a goddamn laser beam. It's just
unique design.
Right.
Yep.
I know which one you're talking about, Matt. So
I just always thought that was a
I gotta
really,
say-
really cool looking plane because again, this is not my area of expertise, so I don't know
Right.
enough about World War II planes. I just remember since I was a kid, I thought that was the coolest looking of all the World War II era planes. So
Yeah, I think my favorite would probably have to be the Corsair, the Navy Marine Corps Corsair, because it had a particular type of engine in it that was that made it just smoke, and it was an older engine, but they did it in such a way that it would, and the wings would fold up so it could fit on a carrier, and that was the Zero's arch nemesis. Like Honda just mentioned, the Zero was pretty cool. Zero was a good fighter plane. It was extremely nimble, but its arch rival was the Corsair. So
I always thought
anyways.
the Lockheed P-38 Lightning was pretty cool looking.
Oh, the twin boom, the twin tail.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one too. You know, the Russians were working on their own version of it. It probably wouldn't have been as good, I'm guessing, but they were working on their own version of it as well. So, anyways, I just wanted to kind of change the subject, I guess, for lack of a better term, because we were like, oh god.
You know what World War II fighter plane no one ever talks about?
What's that?
The Russian ones, because they fucking suck and didn't exist.
That's that would be incorrect, sir.
No, they had several.
They suck, and they mostly didn't exist. That's not incorrect.
No, they had several that were actually pretty good. They had one that was in engine capacity and stuff that was on par with the Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Yak. It's called the Yak 9.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Yak 9's real fast, real durable.
Sounds like communist fucking bullshit propaganda to me.
I thought they cared more about their tanks than their planes.
Yeah, no, hey, I've been looking into this particular subject, and you got to give credit where credit is due. The everything that they had wasn't all bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
all right. Credit where credit's due. Simple Dan is a communist. There you go.
Well, get the fuck. You sound like me talking to Yankee now.
Oh boy! I'll make this a measuring contest.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Matt.
Yes.
Do you have a guess what you might think the next HasLab G.I. Joe vehicle will be? Yeah, the His tank was a great success last year.
Yeah, and the Sky Striker did pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, the 3 3/4 inch Sky Striker, yeah, it did really good too.
I wonder. I feel like that the Sky Striker came out because they were pushing that 3 3/4 inch line at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of fizzled, which I think is unfortunate because I picked up quite a few of those figures and I like that line. I've got the His tank for that line too. And I liked it, and because I'm a bigger fan of the 3 3/4 inch GI Joes, or I guess they're technically 4-inch now, but
yeah,
whatever. That general line, I like those better than the 6-inch, just because that's what I grew up with, and so I still like them. So I was hoping they would just keep that line going, but it didn't do very well because I think most collectors today now stick to 6-inch.
Yeah, they tried to revive the O-ring stuff for a while.
Yeah, they did. I'll be honest. I really, really like everything from 25th anniversary up. I like that newer style.
Yeah,
so I liked that
they're basically like smaller 6-inch figures.
Yeah, I mean they've got
nice.
the articulation. You can do head swaps and shit. You could customize them. They're really I like them a lot. So when they were starting to come out with new ones, I liked that, and I picked up quite a few of them. I picked up like 10 of them, and I picked up the His tank, and I picked up some of those figures. I liked them. But I don't think they're going to do anything for 3 3/4 or 4-inch again, honestly, because that line for whatever reason, was not successful. So I think they'll definitely do something, classified series. So, I mean, there's several options, I think, but I think they're going to do something similar to the His tank because, let's be honest, the His tank was pretty simple. It's not one of the more complicated designs from G.I. Joe, and they could do it at 6-inch scale fairly easily. And I think it made sense from that standpoint. So I'm trying to think of what would be something similar to that. Obviously where they're doing like the motorcycles and stuff, they can do that. They've already put out a couple of those, and I think they can do that at retail fairly easily. So they're going to go for some larger vehicle. I would love to see like the Whale or something, but I don't think they're going to do anything that big. I think they'll probably stick to something ground-based for the Joes instead of for Cobra to offset the Hiss. So, I mean, I could see like the Avalanche maybe being something they could do. I'm trying to think of what would be, although maybe you would want something that would be better suited to be kind of the opposite version of the Hiss tank. So maybe they would do, I'm blanking. What was the name of their standard tank?
You had the Mauler and the Mobat.
The Mobat. That's the one I'm thinking of. Maybe something like that. I could see them doing that because it would be fairly simple for them to do. And I think
I would love it. And the Mobat was basically the M1 Abrams.
Yeah.
The Mauler was a little more special. It's still clearly a tank, but it's had like the cannon was a little more sci-fi, almost railgun looking. Both of them look really cool though.
Let's see. What are some of the ones they could?
Some people might think it could be like Wild building his chopper too.
Oh yeah, what's the fucking Jeep?
Oh, the Vamp.
Is that the Vamp?
I can see the Vamp kind of being a retail vehicle though.
This one. What the fuck was this one called? This was
yeah.
Damn it, I don't remember what this one was called. That
I had that one.
This would be a good opposition to the fucking. Is it the Havoc? Is that the
I
Havoc?
think so.
Because your guys would lay down in the front seat. They laid down in the front seat, and then you had the fucking thing on the back, and then you had that hover pod, that hovercraft that came out of the back right here.
Yep, Havoc.
Yeah, the Havoc. That would be cool. I'd love to see a 6-inch scale Havoc.
Why can't we have real stuff like that?
Oh,
like where's my Second Amendment when it comes to?
You can have one. You just got to have the money to buy one.
I kind of doubt we get it. They I don't know if the license goes that far. Like maybe the Triple T for Sarge.
Yeah, that would be cool. I feel like that would be less of a HasLab and more of like a HasLab exclusive, a Pulse exclusive.
Yeah, I would so buy a Triple T.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, I sent you some pictures because I was at a shop yesterday.
Sarge seems incomplete without.
What do you think of that that X-Men collection right there? Apparently, that thing was supposed to be like worth $200. But it's like a lot of.
Where did you send this?
Discord, like personal.
Oh,
yeah, like Jared, like we were talking about,
or something. I forgot what it's called.
Buying some of the simpler military stuff. Like if we can buy like military surplus stuff that's no longer used and no longer classified, that would be fantastic because civilians would have like half tracks with anti-aircraft, twin anti-aircraft. You know what I mean?
They do sell them. I saw a website that does sell it, but
dude, someone would own an SR-71.
We currently gave
an auction website.
A bunch of people fairly new equipment a year or two ago.
You see old Humvees and all that shit.
A bunch of fucking stuff, didn't we?
Billions of dollars worth of equipment.
What is this, comic shop?
So Matt, have you seen that? Yeah. Have you seen that? So have you seen that collection before? I was wondering, you know anything about that?
I think the Maulers.
So I talked to the owner.
Are you talking about this What is the X-Men Adamantium collection? What is that?
Yeah, it has like a whole bunch of like, they have from this book and all this other book. I don't know if it's all connected, but it's just like $200. It's like a lot of X-Men collections all together.
Have you ever heard of that, Jared? X-Men the Adamantium collection?
What is it?
It's like a big ass fucking book, like compendium of fucking X-Men comics.
Share the screen.
Pictures of the back of
I don't know what that is. It's just a picture in disc. It's just a picture of a fucking.
I mean, I don't know if you Google it on YouTube. I mean, Google.
Like a hardcover. Fucking. It's a hardcover trade. I don't know. I've never heard of that. I don't even know what stories are in that.
It should show it on the Google if you type it in.
Didn't Google just come out with their own AI that they're like trying out on people now?
Oh, and yeah, I've heard something about that. It's not Chat GPT. It's got a different name, but it's
right, and it's like predictive text stuff where it's like, say the thing that I would say, but say it nice so that people like me. You know?
Yeah.
X-Men number 1.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out if they're all connected or
59.
not.
Number 41, Uncanny X-Men 142 and 500. Graphic novel number 5, X-Men God Loves Man Kills. X-Men 91 1 through 3 and 30. New X-Men 114 through 116. Astonishing X-Men 1 through 6 and all new X-Men 1 through 5. It's just like a random fucking collection. I don't even remember what all those stories are other than God Loves Man Kills. I know that story obviously, but I don't know. Yeah, it just seems like a random collection. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't. I
it's
wouldn't
pretty
pay
pricey.
200 I wouldn't pay 200 and something bucks for that. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, that shit's going up, up, up. Buy
the guy who
now.
wanted to sell me to it was like 200. So yeah.
And I've got this right here, but I've only got the front part. I don't have the fucking cannon at the back. I picked this guy up for like $10 at a flea market. It's missing the missiles on the side, but I've got that. It's pretty. Fuck, I'm gonna get it. God damn it.
Dude, what was that?
Why don't you get it then? Damn it!
Why don't you get it?
World War II gun, the train gun that the Nazis had that was like that.
Oh yeah, that was the flak
that's cool.
the flak 188, I think is what they called it.
It shot like 50 miles or some crazy thing like that. Like
That super cannon? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
they
something
had
like
they had train cannons to guard their train shipments and stuff, but that super huge cannon that I think that you're talking about, there was only the one prototype and it never passed muster.
Because it's too hard to move.
Yeah, right.
You're too hard to
That's like the big train artilleries. They didn't use them very much because they were so hard to move. Because train tracks.
Yeah, they had train cars that had regular artillery cannons that they would use to guard their train shipments and stuff. But anything bigger than that, and you were running into problems.
My Hiss tank.
Oh, nice. That's different than the Hiss that I remember from back in the day.
That looks nice.
That's cool.
There, man.
Yeah,
That's the reissue from a couple years ago, isn't it?
That's a reissue. And then I got.
I like how it's solid blue. I like that.
This is I forget which company this is. I did a video on it. Fuck, I don't remember which company it is. But this is for a cheaper toy company.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I set it up
nice.
as kind of like a striker. And this thing's only like $15 on Amazon. But it's badass.
Cool.
Dude, it's better than the striker from G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
I like the details, like the belt-fed machine gun in front. That's a good detail right there.
Plus, it's actually got a rope cage for the gunner.
Yeah.
Remember when you were gonna do that contest where you're like build your own like bug out
Shit hit the fan.
miniature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I printed off a fucking G.I. Joe sticker for the front. I printed that off to put that on the front.
Is that a G.I. Joe symbol on the front there?
Yeah, I put that on there. I printed that off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I saw that from the movie.
But it's got like actual rubber tires and shit. It's got the big fucking grenade cannon on the front. It's got the gas cannon on the side. Dude, this is way better than the Striker. I forget what company it is that makes this, but you can get them on Amazon.
It just doesn't have that sticker, huh?
Right.
Could you
The
imagine
sticker he
doing
put
that?
on himself.
Yeah,
Have you seen
Building
those
something like that in
those
real
little
life?
tiny guns that have like pinfire bullets that you can buy? It's like 0.1 set. It's like not even as big as a BB. You know, it's like smaller than a BB.
Yeah.
You should put one of those on that thing. That'd be cool. So it actually shoots.
I think they call those, whether they goat guns or something like that.
No, not the goat guns, because the goat guns are just like toy models of a gun. These things are actual guns that have pinfire bullets that shoot these little tiny little miniature bullets out that can basically like it'll shoot through like into an aluminum can. Like it's not very powerful.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Okay.
All right, yeah, we know that's good, man. That's why I haven't collected. You know, funny, I have not got any. I have not got any X-wings. Now I think about it, I haven't.
Yeah.
As a kid, this was my favorite Starfighter.
Oh,
really?
Y
Oh,
wing.
yeah. Is it a Y wing or an A wing?
Y wing. I got
Y-wing, okay.
I got
A-wing's a little more
I bought
fatter.
this thing, and I got a really good deal on it. It did not come with these pieces, these fucking 4 on each side, and I had to buy those separately off of eBay. And then I couldn't find the front guns or the top gun here.
Turret, yeah.
They're actually 3D printed that I found from a guy on eBay.
Nice.
But they look good.
They never gonna bring those type of stuff back.
But this shit, like, I love the way this fucking thing looked.
Yeah.
This was my favorite. I like this one better than the fucking X-wing.
Sector 2813 had a good point on the Dragonfly. For HasLab would be a great tank killer.
Oh yeah, dude.
It is a tank killer.
Yeah,
it literally is. It's a Cobra.
Oh yeah.
It's a Huey Cobra. Yeah.
I'd love a HasLab Wild Bill with a Dragonfly. That'd be great.
Yep.
I'd buy it.
Do you have the SR-71 from G.I. Joe?
Oh, the Raven?
I did.
Because that's the one that I had when I was a kid, and we played with that more than anything, dude.
Oh, it was funny you say that because XR71 is something else different. You telling me?
Matt, do you have the SR-71?
Let's go back. Ooh, that's
the
nice.
Raven. Yeah, I like that. Okay, what is that? What is that actually? What is the proper name for that vehicle? Because we used to call them chicken walkers when I was a kid.
It's the ATST.
Yeah.
ATST. Okay.
So, I saw Robo got sent one like in 112 skill.
Right.
Yeah,
there was
Imperial,
one.
you got an Imperial Walker.
On this one here, I had to buy a replacement set of stickers because the stickers that were on it were tore up. But the rest of this is all fucking original.
Okay, do you guys remember that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry's dating the girl who's really hot but has like a really cool collection of old toys? And so they bring her like turkey and wine and feed her turkey and wine for dinner so that she passes out so they can play with her toys.
Yeah.
That's you, Matt.
That's
you got the big one?
cool.
I'm going to come over and hang out and bring over turkey and wine.
And it's
Hey,
even
Matt, you got the big one?
I forget how you do this. How do you do this? Where's the button? There's a button on this somewhere that makes this fucking.
There's a button somewhere to make the side panels pop off.
Yeah, these fucking things. Fucking pop off the side like it exploded or some shit. But yeah, original fucking.
I have you now.
So yeah, I got this fucking
giant dude for like a little.
Got the original. There's only one, but it's got the original stickers in it.
Yeah.
So do you have the Matt? Do you have the big one?
The big what?
The
This one?
AT.
No, I wish I had the AT-AT.
Holy shit, collector!
You know, one of those AT.
I almost bought one of those. I found it at
Jesus Christ.
How much was that one?
Because remember those things went to Walmart and then they put them on fucking clearance because nobody was buying them. Because what were the original retail price?
Oh, they were probably like close to $100 or something like that.
Yeah, they were like, anyway, they had put it on clearance for I think 69 or 79. And I should have fucking bought it, but I didn't because I was like, where the fuck am I going to put that goddamn thing? And so I never bought it. I should have bought it just to resell it because they're worth a fuck ton of money now.
It's over here just on the corner collecting dust.
Impressive nerd shit, Jared. Just saying, impressive.
Hey, it's gonna eat me up, Matt, because I'm waiting until I get my own place before I start buying any Star Wars toys again or any other shit.
Oh. This is not as nice, but I got this. This is a little more simple. It's a they clearance these out for like $15 at Walmart.
Jesus Christ! And you didn't buy me one?
Well, it's like 8 years ago. It's like 8 years ago.
He's like, I didn't know who the fuck you were then. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Hey, come on, Honda.
Let's get a little R2 on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember this from Tulsa?
Oh yeah, bud. From the surplus store.
Surplus store had fucking toys and comics and shit.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing you ever fucking seen in your life, man. Like,
And
hey,
they had
get your gas mask and your flak vest and your comic books. Like, what?
And it can't. It was this with the little dude in it for $15.
When the red balloon goes up, you're gonna need something to occupy your time, man. You need some comic books. You know, you need decks of cards with naked ladies on them and stuff. You know.
I was gonna say, with all the supplies Matt has, he's gonna be trading that for buying some extra toys and stuff.
Mm.
I'll trade you this can of spam for that Darth Vader toy.
I'm gonna show you my prized possession.
I got plenty of spam, so I'll have like all sorts of Darth Vader toys up in this.
I gotta show you my prized possession.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the thing you're grabbing if there's a fire?
The original 1978 Millennium Falcon.
No shit.
That is.
I haven't seen one of those since I was a
I
kid.
have something similar, but I think I beat up mine up.
Got everything on it. I did. The only thing I had to fix on this was, like many of the fucking these toys, that hinge that holds the door on. Notice how it's white.
Uh-huh.
It was broken off, and I had to replace it. So I got a piece of styrene, the tubular styrene, and glued it on there to recreate the hinge. The only thing I don't have on this is what the fuck? I'm pushing buttons on my computers. The only thing I don't have on this is the little fucking thing that has the ball on it that Luke's supposed to.
Mhm.
I don't have that.
See, I think mine was younger.
I did modify it. Okay, you remember when you were a kid and you would want to fly this fucking thing around? You know, like you do when you're a kid, and the fucking back would always fall off.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a little fucking tab. Can you see that little tab sticking up right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little tab right there. I made a little fucking tab for it because I'm a super fucking geek that fucking holds it closed so it doesn't fall off.
Nice. You did that as a kid?
That's cool.
We who are about to geek salute you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you do that as a kid, or did you do that recently?
No. As an adult, I just bought this. I got this about 4 years ago, I think. I found a dude selling it on eBay. It was, when I bought it, it was missing the dish. I had to buy that separately. The gun was broken. The tabs had broken, so I just glued them back together for the gun. And then, like I said, the ramp was broken. And then it was missing the little fucking ball that Luke Skywalker fights. But he was selling it for $75.
Now, Matt, I don't know how old my version is,
You
but I don't
cannot
remember
buy
it having that
these
hinge.
$75.
I don't remember that hinge being in there.
What hinge?
Matt, I'll buy that from you for
the part in that when you look inside that little part right there, that the little thing you were talking about. Yeah, I don't remember that.
What?
But I don't know how old mine was. But back in
I don't remember what part.
No,
yeah,
he's saying
that
he
little
had
piece right
one,
there.
but
Yeah,
his
that
was
little
different.
no, on the right. Yeah, the little piece that looked like stairs or something.
Did you ever see that newer Millennium Falcon? It's like 2.5 feet long.
Oh yeah. The fucking
Yeah.
I forget. Yeah. Anyway, this is my prized possession right here.
I'll give you $90.
Fuck you. It's about this fucking thing's worth about $400, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so $5 then, and we're good.
For it.
Suck my dick.
They probably got some better ones.
For you, I give special price $500.
Yeah, no.
What if I bought it for $400 and just like threw it off the back of the fucking boat into the ocean or
You
something?
can fucking do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. It ain't gonna be this one.
That was a verbal middle finger for those of you who can't translate.
You can buy one for $400 and do whatever the fuck you want with it, but it ain't gonna be that one. That's for goddamn sure.
Okay, what are you grabbing in there if there's a fire besides that?
Well, all my fucking, like, I got a closet full of fucking ammo and prep gear in there. That's the first thing I'm grabbing.
Okay, let's say
and all my shit in my safes back here.
If there's a fire, he's grabbing the goddamn fire extinguisher. Is what he's doing.
Yeah, I have.
let's say it was the kind of
Duh.
fire that was just hot enough to melt plastic, but
Huh?
other things would be fine.
Then I guess this shit's all gone.
Oh,
You're not grabbing anything?
That
You
shit
just
ain't
like,
really
screw it,
mine.
I'm out. I have time to grab like an armful of stuff, but I'm like, I'd rather just like lazily walk along.
You won't save your custom Hulk coming?
Well, yeah,
That looks like Brainiac Hulk. Doesn't it kind
That's
of
Cyber
Brainiac?
Hulk.
Let me see.
Kind of.
I can't even
really
see.
see that hole.
Yeah, it's a thumbnail to me. I can't see it.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Matt
nice
zooms
new
it up.
glasses.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, that is fucking
What's that,
badass.
That does
Cyber
look
Hulk or something?
Brainiac Hulk. The 4 little pods on his chest kind of look like the little symbol on Brainiac's forehead. That does kind of look
it
Brainiac
does.
Hulk. Yeah.
Fucking
Dude,
cyborg.
that's like
Where's the rest of
Cyber
his
Jason in Jason X or whatever. That's fucking scary, man.
He doesn't have a part of the other body, or
Well, this is all it's done. I got to finish out the rest.
oh, okay. Making
You
Damn,
sculpted
Jared,
that?
You do some fantastic fucking work, dude.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, he does.
Mhm.
Very impressive.
That is badass. I would love to have that.
Oh,
You have,
he's-
to fight, you have
Okay.
to fight Matt for it.
yeah.
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 Matt, put him up. Put him up.
Yeah, yeah. I could see you put him up. You're doing like the whole fighting Irish pose, the
Exactly.
fisticuffs.
Well,
Yeah.
the
Actually, I would walk up to Matt with the glove and just smack him in the face and be like, "Let's do it, bitch."
Yeah, you have insulted my honor, Smack. Right there.
Hello, my name is
See, I
Inigo
would bar
Montoya. You killed my
Yeah.
father. Prepare to die.
Yeah, you have insulted my honor. Prepare to die. Yeah. Do you wish to duel with fist or blade or pistol?
I'll be starting on the lower
Like,
body
I
tomorrow.
would not fuck with Corey. He's too goddamn big. Actually, I have messed with people as big as Corey, and that's when I like bust out a fucking 2x4 because I don't fucking play around with that shit. If somebody can sit on me and kill me, like I'm not even gonna try and get into a fucking fist fight. Fuck
Yeah.
no. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, there was a guy. He was actually an army recruiter that I knew when I was in high school, and he was one of the army recruiters that would come by, and he says like, if somebody outweighs you by 20 pounds, just run, It's it. Just go away. You know what I mean? That's the rule.
No, I've fucked with people who were bigger than me, and that's why I have no. I've said in my entire life, I'll cheat, motherfucker. I'll
Yeah.
grab
Well,
whoever the fuck is near me, and I will smack you over the fucking head.
Or throw
Mhm.
sand in their face or something.
Shit.
Well, here's the
Well,
thing
yeah,
about Corey.
you
He might
live in
be
Texas,
able
so
to
all you
sit
gotta
on
do
you
is,
and
like-
kill you if he wanted to, but he's a gentle giant. He's just
He
like
is.
he's
He
like the
would-
jolly red giant.
Me and
Yeah.
Corey would never get into a fight. It wouldn't.
Oh,
Ho
no,
ho
God,
ho!
no.
Red giant.
Oh, real quick,
wait,
I got to
this is
show
a good
this one
question.
too.
Is-
Since I'm pulling
is,
shit off the fucking shelf.
Who here shows?
This is-
who
I
here
think I've already
seen,
proven.
Boys in
This
the
is
Hood?
what if you pick up and you can find them on sale all the time on fucking Amazon for like $15-20. Pick up a fucking warthog for your GI.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh,
Nice.
And it works fantastic. That's
Okay.
Duke in there riding in the warthog.
That looks like
Fuck
a
yeah.
modernized version of the Vamp.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's fucking badass, dude. And this was like $15 or $20 on sale on Amazon.
How cool would it be to have a real one of those?
Dude,
I
they-
know that's
Mhm.
no, there are dudes. There are dudes who made
There's
this.
people who made that.
yeah.
And I put
Like, you
yeah,
can take a regular.
You could make
No,
a
I'm
Jeep
talking
or
about the
something
actual
with, like,
Warthog,
it or
though.
whatever, you know?
downloaded another one of them stickers and put one of the fucking GI Joe stickers on the front.
Like, you can take
Fuck
a
yeah.
regular Jeep engine or a Hummer or something like that and actually create a fiberglass body so it looks exactly like a GI Joe vehicle.
Mhm.
It happens all the time.
I was gonna-
Like, people have taken a gun and taken the aesthetics of the gun and turned it into like an alien's pulse rifle. You can turn it into something that's completely fictional. You can take a real life gun and turn it into something that you've seen in like the movies and stuff. The people do it all the time.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say this because I saw some people actually try to make actual warthogs, but also there was a video
Mhm.
of somebody who's like, like Master Chief. I didn't watch it, but I saw like snippets of it. They
Mhm.
make his actual shotgun, like he's actually using an actual shotgun. to
Yeah,
shoot with it.
and I've
the
seen
old school one, the Halo one
like-
version.
like actual body armor, like level 3 and level 4 body armor that you can wear that looks exactly like the Mandalorian, and that like it's legit. Like you can buy the whole set for like $600 or $700 or something like that, including the helmet, that the Spartan looking helmet that the Mandalorian wears, whole thing. You know what I mean? And it's like a level 3 bullet resistance, you know, that kind of thing. So people are doing stuff, you know. It's interesting to see people take their nerdy passions or their hobbies and turn it into something real, you know.
Oh yeah,
people did some things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mobat would be a good one.
I'd love a 112 skill tank. I think the
What does
Dragonfly
Mobat stand for?
I think either the Dragonfly or one of the tanks would be a perfect. Either I'd be happy with
Mother of big ass tanks.
Motorized battle tank.
Damn it, I like mine better.
That was one of the selling features for the Mobat when the original toy. It was motorized.
Speaking of tank,
I like Honda's better. Yeah, I just decided Honda's acronym is better.
Yep. Mother of all big tank.
Mother of battle tanks. Something like that, yeah.
Mother of big ass tanks.
I know, but I changed it.
Big ass.
Oh shit!
Mother of battle
right there
tanks.
for 41.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that wheelchair
That is
thing?
fucking cool.
Although at $41,
that.
it's still cheaper than any of the Joe vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's weird. I don't think a lot of people ever got a lot of Halo toys from what I remember. So there's always a lot of stuff out there like that.
Yeah, Halo just, in my opinion, isn't as big as other stuff, so that's why everything's cheaper in that
Was
realm.
it one of you guys who has the Predator toys? With like Predator, and then you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger wearing his gear, and then there's the dude who's like hung upside down, all bloody with a hole in his chest.
Shit, they make all
And then there's
types of
Predator
stuff
himself,
like that.
and they're like OG. Matt just went away, so I'm assuming that's a yes.
I know someone in I think someone in the chat in Discord has a bunch of the Predator stuff too. I can't remember who
I
it is.
can't remember where I saw it. I saw it
Yeah, and
somewhere.
there's certain artists that make certain designs. Because I think the one I want is I want the Predator Samurai one. So that's just me personally.
Yeah.
But getting back to what you were saying, Corey, about the toys, no, the one thing that I saw that was crazy expensive for the Halo thing is like the replica kind of ones. You like the replica guns and all that other stuff, or the energy swords.
Yeah,
those things cost a lot. I'm talking about like 400 plus.
Did y'all ever see that lightsaber that I posted in Toy Tubers Facebook page?
Nope.
One.
That one, it was a video where the chick put the lightsaber together.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty fucking
That video
cool.
went a lot differently than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, hold on, I got
She's actually
Josh T says, when the apocalypse happens, I'll rob all the toy collectors and trade them with Matt for all his guns and ammo. Bullshit.
You will do no such thing, sir. You will do no such thing.
Maybe some.
Hey,
I might trade for some.
I will be known as the Spam King, and I will have a crown that is made out of melted down Spam cans. I literally have like 400 units of Spam.
Jesus.
Yeah, instead of like a chair full of like swords that have been melted down, it's like
Spam cans.
Gun
The Spam
buyback
cans,
that you're just sitting on like.
That's one of the really cool things too about the older G.I. Joe figures, the 4-inch, 3 3/4 inch. They're 1/18 scale, so there's tons of RC options too for you.
Oh, dude, there's so much out there because so much stuff has been made in that scale.
Yeah,
like there's a ton of that shit out there. Oh, by the way, I finally got Dusty.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Zoom it in, please. Zoom it in.
Found him at Walmart on sale for $10 off.
Is he staying in?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, finally got Dusty. Oh, I got Dusty, and I actually picked this up because this was on sale for $9.99. So I'm going to turn her into something. I don't know what yet.
I didn't.
Who's that? Who's that?
The
Okay,
G.I.
who is
Joe
that?
that you like modeled after Duke. What was the name of that?
What? Dusty?
No, the
shithead.
Oh, yeah, shithead, yeah.
Oh, hey, shithead here. Shithead's here. What's up?
Yeah, shithead's here.
Shithead. Sergeant Shithead. I tan hut.
Shit on head. Tina's a decent figure.
Yeah.
Shit on head. What is that, like a YouTuber?
I need a marble.
shoe on head, man.
Like shoe on head.
I wish I would have taken some fucking pictures of shithead before I sent him to Duke. I forgot to do a video on him. I didn't take any fucking pictures. I have no proof that I ever made that fucking thing.
Duke, you have to send it back.
So
yeah, that would have been fantastic to do a video like, okay, here we have a custom GI Joe named Shithead.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been hilarious, and you could have advertised the service along with it. You know,
it was all around Christmas time. I'm trying to get Duke's shit to him, and we're getting ready to go on our trip to Colorado. And I just was I wasn't making. I had fortunately I had stockpiled a bunch of videos, so I wasn't making any videos for pretty much all of December. And I just fucking forgot to make a video before I packed that thing up and sent it off to Duke. And I didn't even take any goddamn pictures of it. So I have no proof that I made that fucking thing.
Is Duke even here, or did he come into
I don't know. He doesn't say anything.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm taking pictures of the G.I. Joe to send to you.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll take some professional ones and I'll send them over to you so you can do it.
Here's what you have to do is make a video and do your best Never Enough Ammo's voice impression.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then send the video, and then Matt can just upload that to his channel.
Or just send a video. I'll just dub it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Matt. Like, if you would have showcased the action figure and advertised the service that actually makes those action figures, you might be looking at a sponsorship.
I made it.
You actually physically made it, or
physically made the figure and the card and everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was like a custom service that you could send off for, and they'll do it.
No, it was my service. It was the fucking Geek Fusion TV service. Of
yeah, he did everything.
Okay, fair enough.
Action figure for a friend of mine.
You just need to have people send you like a picture of a dude with like a name that they want to name him, and then you make the G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
What do you got there? Oh, is that what's her name? What's her name?
Laura Croft.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Mandalorian.
Oh, Mandalorian. Okay, never mind.
Fennec. There you go. Fennec Shan.
Yeah, Fennec Shan.
Yeah. That's a pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the chick.
Yeah, I can whack off to that.
Yeah, that's pretty good face detail.
I mean, wait, what?
I didn't mean to take him out of the stream. Jesus. Clicked the wrong fucking button. Anyway.
Like, bye-bye, Finn. No more Finn.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this chick. I don't know. I just was like, fuck, for $9 or $9.99 or whatever. I turn her into something.
Was that Baroness?
I got it. Ahsoka. Yeah,
and she's actually got full articulation, unlike many of the Marvel Legends fucking chick figures. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I like this Ahsoka figure.
Yeah,
yeah, it's from
the Mando one.
I like my Twi'leks and my Mando and all them other aliens. Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like her.
That looks good. Yeah, physically looks like her.
Oh, Jared, you know how you got the? You know how there were times when Rachel Summers had that green and yellow X-Men outfit when she wasn't wearing the red.
Yep.
So I was thinking about doing one with this.
With this?
Yeah, this right here.
Yeah,
because I've got this figure. I hate this Siren figure. The problem is this is the figure that I told you about that I wiped off all the paint on the face.
Oh yeah.
And you know how I am about doing eyes.
Yeah, I remember that.
How to do it?
Am I going to be getting one of those heads in the mail?
You might. I think this would make a pretty decent Rachel Summers.
Yeah.
Green and yellow.
That's a good reuse of the head too, because the original figure that head comes on is awful.
Yeah. I figured this was a good head sculpt for her. Not the exact hairstyle, but I was messing around because I got some of these figures that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with them. So I was just playing around. Like I got fucking Siren's head on Jocasta. I don't know why. I was just playing around and doing head swaps and stuff, seeing if I could come up with any ideas. You know.
Now the Jocasta body makes a great upgrade for Silver Sable.
Actually, that would look good. Yeah.
So Rachel Summers originally had the crew cut when she appeared. When I remember her, am I right on that?
Yeah. She was from a future where she was like a fucking slave, and so her hair was all shaved and shit. And
yeah.
I'm curious. What's your guys' views on this? Do you guys like using dioramas and all that other stuff and put them like in the landscape areas?
I don't. No, I just have them like you see them behind me.
You have to be careful. My opinion on that stuff is you can look like a 10-year-old or you can look like a professional. And if you're not doing it right, don't do it. And fully commit and do a diorama that's scaled correctly. The problem is that these figures are like 6 to 8 inches plus sometimes, ones that Matt messes with. So like the diorama has to be at least and should be like at least 2 to 3 times the height of them. So if you've got a 6-inch figure, you need like a kind of an 18-inch space that to make the diorama look correct. So that being said, you got to be careful. That's a lot of ground to cover.
Oh, Matt, a good for like a cheap source for risers, foam board and hot glue. That's what these are. That's for my.
I gotta get my lights fixed before I do anything because I'm just don't want to fuck with them yet. But yeah, that looks good.
You just cut them to match your shelf size and hot glue everything together. Cut them in strips.
What is this? Is your DVD collection growing?
I'll say I might have a little bit of a problem.
You think?
Well, the top of the shelf's clear. You can put some stuff on top of that.
Yeah, you still got the top shelf going on.
You should have seen my living room, which most of it's now in my garage in boxes. But I had a huge DVD and Blu-ray collection, and they was so bad I had to double them up. So there was like a row in front of another row.
Yeah.
My folks had those big giant industrial staircases.
Oh, Jared, Punk Mary Jane.
Oh, that looks good. That head sculpt actually looks good on there.
Yeah, it does. Not too bad. So,
that's cool for Mary Jane.
What I did, I used the Age Apocalypse Kitty Pryde head and put it on that TNT Tina body.
Okay.
To make it work, the figures have the same style, like a double ball peg neck joint. The bases are the same size, so I just swapped the ball pegs out and actually swap the heads either way. Actually, the TNT Tina head actually looks good on the Age Apocalypse Kitty Pryde body.
Do you see what
was Kitty Pryde played by Ellen Page?
Yes.
In Age of Apocalypse? Okay, same actor. Okay.
She was played by him.
Oh, Jesus. What?
That's pretty good. M. Gabriel. Good job. 10 out of 10. You rolled a natural 20 on that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. We got to get out of here because, Corey, aren't you doing something?
Corey? Yeah, I just waiting for us to wrap things up here.
I didn't mean for it to go this long because I know you were doing your first ever live chat tonight.
I think you did mean for it to go this long.
When I shared it to Discord and stuff, I said that it'd be at 9 or when this chat was over.
Yeah. Right. Well, I didn't want to fucking quirk you on your first chat. I'll wait till you.
Oh no, you're good, brother.
I'll wait till you do your second or third chat, and then I'll quirk you.
Okay.
I don't know. It's Corey's first. Corey's doing his first live chat tonight.
Everybody show up.
So we want to encourage Corey to do as many live chats as he possibly can, and he gets to be the host now and see how it feels to have to make sure everything goes smoothly and people keep talking the entire fucking chat. And if people aren't talking, you just have to keep fucking talking and coming up with interesting shit to say. So good luck, Corey.
Yep, good luck, Corey.
Yay. All right, I'm not doing my chat now. No, I'm playing.
Hey, the pressure's on, man. You're in the Iron Throne now.
That's
I'm
why
in
I
the
like.
captain seat.
That's
Yeah.
like why I like having Hulk Smash come on and work as a co-host, so you can watch the chat, and so I can just work on my customs.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're gonna shut it down. I know we usually go like 3.5 hours on Saturday, but we want to give Corey some time to do his own. And everybody should go check out Corey's channel. Corey, drop the link to your video to get the video. We'll give Corey time. Don't leave yet, people. Give Corey some time. I can drop the link in there so fucking
Right.
so you can see it, and we'll do that. We're gonna drop the link in. I promise, people. Don't worry. In the meantime,
Outstanding.
Yay!
I gotta find how to.
Up at the top of the StreamYard, if you're in StreamYard, it says up at the top above the comments, it'll have your little icon for your YouTube channel and a little drop down box, and you can it'll say view on YouTube when you click that drop down box, and it'll open it up on YouTube, and then it'll open up the YouTube page and just copy the link and drop it in the comments. We're giving him time, people. He's just doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Everybody be patient. Patience is a virtue. I wouldn't know. I don't
chilling at work.
Patience at all. I'm an incredibly impatient motherfucker. So, don't look.
Especially when it comes to driving, like you are the most impatient person in the car, and I like that about you. Honestly, I'm not criticizing.
But I feel like there's a but coming.
And I think that's
No,
why
that
I
was
like
it.
some
That
of the
was the end
shows
of
that
it.
have a slower
Okay.
burn than you do.
All right.
I'll say the butt. I say y'all Texans drive crazy.
It scared the shit out of me one time. I mean,
I know. Well, part of that was because you were in the back. And I find
You can't include all Texans. I drive like a goddamn grandma. Just saying. I do. Yeah. Goddamn grandma. Just saying.
That's true. Let's see. Oh, we got a super chat for Josh T. Says, I'm mad that Corey is 40 minutes late. We're working on it. We're trying to get the link. Oh, I think yeah. Lead Laces and you both dropped the link. There's the link, people. Go over to that one. Go check that one out. Okay, Corey's doing his first ever live chat. We want to support him doing his first ever live chat. Corey, what are you going to be talking about tonight?
I kind of just little everything.
Okay, so what you're saying is you don't know.
No, I don't.
Oh god,
I didn't really prep.
Oh god,
I was doing a lot of yard work today.
Oh
I was
man,
late
let
to
the
this
games
chat
begin.
because I
should have thought of that earlier. It's too late now. Well, good luck.
Yeah, I was late to this chat because I actually pulled a Duke and fell asleep because I did a bunch of yard work today.
Oh, and you fell asleep.
You got people in your chat waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm about to fall asleep.
Everybody's waiting.
All right, so we're going to end this one. We will be back for more Geek Chat next week. Jared's got his show tomorrow. Honda's doing Rumble on Sundays and Tuesdays, and we'll be back here on NEA Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's there's always a show, people. God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Always a fucking show. Every night there's something to watch. So we will see you guys next time. Have fun. Deuces, yo, all that good shit. And we're out of here. Go check out Corey's channel. Go now. Later.
Later, guys.
Salutes.
Later.